Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Not So Subtle Podcast.
Nice.
Solid.
I'm Coulter Potter. I'm here with Dane LaPointe. Say what's up.
What's up?
Sup.
I followed your orders.
Thank you, Dad. I'm also here with Jordan Miller.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going good. It's going
Nice.
well.
Guys.
Yeah, please just...
I'm trying to break that habit.
What habit?
Saying, how you doing?
Good.
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 It's actually
Instead of
doing
well.
What you say, quite well, my lord,
Yeah, so I
quite
tip my
well.
monocle
With your you tip your monocle.
Yeah.
I tip my
That's
beanie
not
to
a
you,
thing.
sir. So on this podcast, we talk about video games, movies, television. We haven't talked about television really at all.
Television.
We would if we had reason to.
Rules the
What if there's any
nation.
good TV shows on?
I mean, I would talk about Game of Thrones, but you guys haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, everyone hates Game of Thrones now, so it's not even worth talking about, really.
Get out.
And sometimes we just talk about random shite that is on our minds.
Such as, what is the little thing around Kermit's neck called?
That's called...
Frop.
A frop.
That's not bad.
I mean, I appreciate the effort.
I was gonna
It could
just
be right.
improv something on the spot, but that's not bad. It's a
my
frock.
improv. Oh,
I think
that's what I was thinking of. I was like...
A frop. I like frop better than frock.
Okay.
I think frock is already a thing, and I don't really know. I think it might be a woman's garment.
I feel like he might be...
What about we're
Wearing a
getting
frock.
dangerously close to fraught.
Is that
Yeah.
bad?
No.
I'll just let people look that up.
Fraught?
Oh. Is that like a sexual thing?
It is.
Isn't that like just a real word, too?
It may be.
Like Fraught, yes.
Fraught.
I'm fraught with nerves about looking that up.
That's a good. Don't look
Okay,
up.
So what's fraught?
We'll just.
Spell it out.
I think it's FROTT or FROT.
Okay.
If you value
I don't know exactly how to spell it.
if you value your lunch staying in your stomach, you probably shouldn't look it up.
Do you know what it is?
I don't remember what it is. I remember Dane telling me.
It's definitely rubbing two things together.
Oh.
Well, I mean, there's not a lot of things.
We'll just leave that to.
Is it two wieners? Come on. What are we talking about?
Yeah. Two Frankfurters.
All right.
Two Polish Franks.
Two Polish sausages.
All right, guys. Our first topic today is going to be the
frauding.
fateful, the fateful frauding,
Faithful frauding of Friday.
the frauding of Pelham 119. That is
Nice.
a weird ass ref.
That's
All right.
amazing.
Okay, so the conclusion to the epic trilogy of One Gotta Go, boys. Bean and chimp, bean and chimp, bean and chimp, bean and
Still the same
One's
thing.
one's gotta go. Hey.
One's gotta go. All right. So today
This
we're gonna
just in,
start
one's
off
gotta
hot.
go.
Can you shut your mouth,
God
Can you just
damn.
shut up for 1 minute?
Stop?
guys? We got a hot one
This is
off
so
the
rude.
bat. This one.
Go. Just give it to us.
All right.
Can
Here
you
it is.
Shut up.
All right. What is it, Dan?
Improv, come
waiting.
on. Yes, and.
Uh,
Go.
No, you told me to shut up.
Okay, one's gotta go. Your sarcasm and attitude. And
Nice.
Wait, is sarcasm and attitude one thing?
No, that's two separate
Okay.
ones. Yeah.
All right. What we got here is a failure to communicate. I gotta.
Is that one of the options?
No. So we got Finding Nemo, Monsters Inc., Toy Story, and Shrek for some reason is on this.
Okay, well, Shrek is staying there for
Shrek
sure.
cannot go.
Yeah,
It's
Shrek-
clearly
yeah.
the best film on that list there.
Okay, wait.
Better than Toy Story, better than
Toy
Finding
Story,
Nemo.
Finding Nemo, Monsters Inc.,
Yes.
and Shrek. Finding Nemo.
I'm going to go with Monsters, Inc.
How dare you? I would actually go with Toy Story. So many people are crying out.
I'm gonna go with Finding Nemo on this one.
Well, we're all in different step. Why?
It's not really Finding Nemo's fault. I've seen that movie far too many times because, like, during schooling, it was kind of like, or you know, like when there's nothing to do in any sort of like childhood like situation, it's like, oh, we'll just watch Finding Nemo. And so I've seen that movie so many times. that I can't watch it anymore. Like,
Alright.
I really can't watch it. And also, I like it more as like a movie than I do like a comedy or anything like that. I think Toy Story and Monsters Inc. are funnier than Finding Nemo. We're not taking Shrek off that list.
That's not the question. I mean, that's...
Well, I know, but I mean, like, for my reasoning, that's why. Finding Nemo's gotta go.
Alright.
I also think it's overrated.
But you think it's a better movie than...
Yeah, I mean, it's a, like, as a film, like, the story is good, I guess, but I like all those other movies better overall.
Okay.
It did get so, like, overplayed, I have to admit that.
Yeah, like,
I watched it so much.
Mine,
Yeah.
and
All
everyone's
the
like,
jokes.
it's the best joke ever! And it's like, oh, the girl has braces and she's dumb. And it's like, okay, like,
Well,
I get
yeah,
it.
that's
It's just, I hate...
That's the quintessential joke from Finding Nemo.
Well, I don't know. There's just all these stupid, and like the whole thing where like she loses her memory and like she has short-term memory or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of silly like cartoon-ass jokes.
Yeah, it's just the more I've seen it so many times, and the more I watch it, I'm like, this is not good. Like, it's not as good as everyone says it is.
Yeah, probably if I watched it for the first time as an adult, I'd probably like it less. But since I watched it as a kid, it's definitely a classic.
It's not bad. It's just out of those,
Yeah,
it has to go.
Okay.
What about you guys?
Monsters, Inc.
Why?
Explain your reasoning.
I mean, I've seen Monsters, Inc. maybe once. That probably goes to show you how much I care about that movie. I've seen Finding Nemo a few times.
Yeah.
I've seen Toy Story, obviously. I don't have a fervent love for Monsters, Inc., so...
That's fair.
So, yeah. And also, Shrek is just not even a contender in this. It's the best movie ever, so...
Honestly, Shrek is the best movie on this list.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to throw around the word best, I don't know, it's hard.
Shrek.
Because you can't really compare, because Shrek was actively, like, kind of parodying every, like, Disney, like, type of deal. Mm-hmm. Which, none of these are, like, a pure Disney movie or anything, but... Shrek is just different than the others. It's not even a Pixar movie. These are all Pixar movies. Why would you put this on
That's
same
true.
thing?
I agree.
But
It is weird.
yeah, I think just for me, I never loved Toy Story. It was always way too serious for me. Like they tried to like hit you with like the sappiness so hard, and like I don't know, it's weird. Like Woody like yells and is like mean to the other toys like more than he's like nice to them. I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but it's like as a kid, it's like I want to see something more like Finding Nemo or like Emperor's New Groove or something like that.
Emperor's New Groove is fire.
It's fire.
But like if you think about Toy Story, that movie is like burned into my brain because it's very visually memorable.
Yeah, I think that's probably why it's gotten so far. Is because like the concept and the visuals are so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like Toy Story, but I agree it's also a lot different than any other Pixar movie, really. Like all three of the Toy Stories, especially the third one.
There's like a
that's
part
where like they get you in the feels.
Yeah. There's like a part in Toy Story where it's just depressing. Like the toys aren't like talking to each other. They're like mad at each other, and like they're just in this house, and it's like so big, and like there's no other like people around, and it's just like sad to me. I'm just like, why am I watching this kids movie?
The whole core concept of Toy Story is just kind of sad. Where it's like, oh, we're just obsolete now. Like no one loves us anymore.
They're gonna throw us away.
Not gonna be like useful. Bye.
All we want to do is be puppeted.
Wasn't there that whole sequence where like they go to Pizza Planet or whatever, and then Buzz and Woody are left behind?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Like that whole part of the movie is pretty sad too. Like it's pretty bleak.
Yeah. They go way too far, in my opinion, with all that. But,
yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people love it, so.
That's fair. That's fine.
all right.
Well, next. So we can all agree we hate Pixar. No, I'm just kidding. Pixar's gotta go.
Art.
Pixar, the Holocaust.
Go
You should
on.
probably just stop.
World hunger, famine.
All right, so let's get right past
Which
that.
one's gotta go?
I'm gonna refrain from it. I'm abstaining from this one.
So we have more food here. I'm sorry. We
What the
have
fuck, Coulter? We talked about this.
No, sorry, get the fuck out of here.
this
Get
one's
out.
not specific foods.
No,
it's
get out.
cuisines: American, Mexican, Italian,
Lean
Chinese.
cuisine.
Lean cuisine,
Yeah, I'm
hungry
gonna
man
go,
meal.
I was about to say I'm gonna go with hungry man on this one.
Sorry, can you repeat those again?
American, Mexican, Chinese, and Italian, I believe.
Chinese.
Yeah, Chinese definitely can go.
I like Chinese food a lot, so
I like Chinese food, but out of these, I'm gonna forget.
honestly, I
it.
might say Mexican.
Could we switch it to teriyaki?
No, that's
That's too specific.
Yeah.
That's just a dish.
Is it? I guess. You could say Japanese then.
okay. Well, then no.
there's
But
different-
teriyaki and sushi are like very different, like styles
Very-
of restaurant.
Well,
very
but so
different.
was like a hamburger, and then like
A hot
whatever
dog.
else is American food. I don't know what
Steakhouse.
American food.
Yeah, we're
Would
talking like
qualify as,
Outback Steakhouse, McDonald's.
The most
Outback
American thing
Steakhouse.
ever, Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah, honestly, like we're talking about like Cabela's.
That's a restaurant.
Cabella's
I'm
food
sure they have like
court.
a Cabela cafe, like a
I know
Caribou
they do.
cafe or some shit.
They probably sell like alligator meat burgers.
Actually, I think I'm gonna change. I did say Mexican. I'm gonna go with Italian. Like
What the f-
was it like
No,
spaghetti
get
and like,
outta
pasta
here.
and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Go
that
suck a
part, man.
fettuccine,
Pizza.
bro.
Yeah, pizza's like fake Italian, so
That's true. That's not really Italian.
It is pizza is Italian.
But the thing is not.
I mean, do you have any proof of this?
I think we looked this up one time and it was not invented by an Italiano.
I don't know, man.
We're gonna look this up.
I don't know. Honestly, I like all those food, but I don't know. I'm torn between Mexican and Italian.
Really?
I would. Which one? Oh, I did Chinese. Yeah. Even if it was like teriyaki, I still would do it. It's gotta go.
All right.
Okay. Well,
I mean, we need. Okay, yeah. I guess you can keep looking that up.
you know
Let me
what?
pull
It was
up the
made
next.
in Naples, and
And where's that located?
they made it for the visit of King Umberto and Queen Margherita of
that-
Italy in
that's
the
a
late
pretty good
1800s.
segue.
Flawless accent.
Margherita.
It's a pretty good
Sound like
segue.
it's
other than
straight
we
from
still-
Italy.
Wasn't it pretty good?
Yeah. No.
Well, so it was King Umberto and
Uh,
who was the queen?
Queen Margarita.
Can you do it with your Italian?
you're doing
accent?
a Brad Pitt.
Margarita.
Margherita.
So was it Italian?
King Margarita. That
All
was
right,
my
man.
best
It was
pick.
and all right, man. And the chef who made it was Ezio Auditore da Frenzy.
Nice.
Nice. And was it sous chef Mario?
Yes.
All your Italian comes from Assassin's Creed.
Mario.
Requiescat in pace.
Perfect.
All right, man.
All right, man.
The next
Next.
one we got is Ruffles, Pringles, Cheetos, Doritos.
Cheetos. Get the fuck out of here,
100%.
man.
Actually, I'm
What?
tempted
You
to
guys
say
don't
I'm
like
tempted to say
Cheetos?
Doritos. No, out of those, Cheetos have to go.
Doritos? What's wrong with you?
When you
almost
when
I
you
hate
get like
Doritos.
those variety bag of chips, literally the last two left in there are Doritos and Cheetos, and
What?
Cheetos are the last ones.
Those
to
are
go.
my
I'm just,
two favorites.
I'm just gonna
I'm
say
just-
right now.
Ow!
No, I'm
Doritos
gonna-
are great.
I'm gonna fucking throw.
Doritos
Oh!
are good. I do like Doritos, but Cheetos are like probably one of my least favorite.
I'm gonna
chips,
say that
if you can call them that.
on my tier ranking of the official MLG tier ranking of chips, I'm gonna for me
MLG.
personally, I'm gonna say that Cheetos and Doritos are a close last place.
I don't know about
I think Doritos are some of the worst chips I've ever had, and
Wow.
Cheetos
What the
are
fuck is
Cheetos
wrong
are
with you?
definitely worse than those.
I mean, I understand. Not
I never
liking-
knew this about you, and you have a problem.
I understand not liking some flavors of Doritos, but just blanket statement: Doritos are one of the worst chips. Is
The cheeseburger Doritos are shit.
unbelievable.
Well, those are shit.
That's like
those
the
are-
most like no one's like, what's your favorite Dorito? Cheeseburger, dude. I love
no
cheeseburger.
no one's
What?
arguing that
no,
those are good.
if you're a true gamer, you eat cheeseburger.
What are you gonna be like?
Doritos.
Oh yeah, my least favorite Lays are like the chicken and waffle Lays that everyone orders, like this, like the weird specialty ones. Like, of course not. Those ones are all
Okay, no,
shit.
but I'm just saying, like, those are shit. The late night purple bag of Doritos are not that good. The Cool Ranch ones are not good. They're so strange.
I thought you were gonna like vouch for.
No,
them for
they're
a
so-
sec.
if you had said Cool Ranch were my favorite ones, I would have just walked out of here.
No,
'cause
the
that's
Cool
fucking
Ranch
bad.
I
ones
like
are
Cool Ranch.
The
All
Cool
of
Ranch
them-
ones are fine, but they're weird. They don't taste like ranch. I don't know what they taste like. They taste like chemicals, and they have like red and green spots on them.
I mean, if you want to eat ranch, you can just drink a bucket of ranch. I mean, they're chips. They're
no,
meant
they're
to
just
taste
weird
like
as
chips.
fuck, man. And then like
The spicy
and then I
nachos,
have a
too,
thing.
are
This is the
great.
thing. I hate cheesy like snacks. Like
Okay.
like Cheez-Its and Cheese Nips are fine. I don't seek them out.
Oh, Cheez Nips are fine now.
Cheez-Its are better.
All right.
But Doritos, like I don't like cheesy chips.
How about Goldfish?
They're fine.
They're not necessarily
so
cheesy,
all of them
though.
are fine. Other than
No, they're okay. Like I would never.
you don't
really-
like the powder.
No, I don't.
So
my
how
favorite
about
part.
flavor blasted Goldfish? The best kind.
Those are better than standard Goldfish, but
So I'm definitely missing something here because
well, okay. So I think it's just like cheesy, like dust covered chips that I don't like.
okay, so crackers are fine for some reason.
Flavor blasted Goldfish tastes different than Doritos though,
You're right.
and they're better.
All right.
I mean, I like Doritos. I like the spicy sweet chili ones. Those ones are
Okay.
pretty good.
Okay.
I can't tell you exactly
I love the
why I like
cheeseburgers.
certain cheese
Cheeseburger, my
cheese
favorite Dorito.
snacks.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Get out of here with your
Look,
cheeseburger-ass
Doritos are
Doritos.
shit. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's ridiculous, but all right.
That's all I have to say.
Cheetos are the worst chips. So
I recently realized that I love Cheetos.
I can't go down you on that path. I really dislike
You
them.
can't. Hold on.
Hold on.
Wait.
Careful.
You gonna go down on Coulter?
No, we're gonna get
What?
past it. The one that gotta go for me is Ruffles. We haven't talked about that at all.
Wait, what?
Because those are perfect chips.
They're not perfect.
I would say Ruffles
Lay's are better.
on the
It's
MLG
true.
tier ranking of chips. Ruffles are at the top.
This upsets Dane, but my favorite chips are original Lays. Just
That does make me
straight up
angry.
normal Lays.
That does make
They're
me
the
angry.
perfect chip.
What's your
so.
favorite chip?
My favorite
Tim's.
chip.
I like Tim's regular chips. They're really crunchy
I like
and great.
hipster kettle.
Maggot.
I was
Shut
gonna
up.
say
Baked.
I like kettle cooked backyard
Get the
barbecue.
fuck out of here.
Backyard barbecue, is that what it's called?
Yeah, I like the backyard
Finger
barbecue.
licking
outta here.
barbecue. Sweet baby
or
Rays.
or I would say honestly Ruffles. Ruffles are like
They have ridges.
You know
ridges.
what's averages? Wavy Lays. Perfect chip.
Wavy Lays are shit. They're just
They're the same
They're
thing.
just a rip off of
Wavy
Ruffles.
Lays? I didn't even know that
Look,
existed.
What?
look,
They're
Ruffles
just
and
Ruffles.
French onion dip.
Okay.
The French onion dip is good, but you're
It's
bringing
so
in stuff
good.
that wasn't here to begin with.
No,
so.
I'm just saying, man. Ruffles are a part of that.
I mean, you can get them separately. It's not. They're
No,
not
no,
bound to
there's-
each other.
They are.
Ruffles are plain Jane.
Their souls are bound to each other.
Just give me a party-sized bag of just regular Lays, and I'll just go to town.
I would get
They're
cheesy
too airy.
chips anytime.
Let's talk
airy,
about
they're
regular.
chips.
Let's talk about regular Lays for a second. Aren't they too like? They're too thin.
No.
Like they're
They're
too
just
like.
chips.
It just tastes like you're eating air.
No, I mean I don't need to
That's
have
wafers.
a giant crunch. Like,
That's
it's just
wafers.
they're just chips.
No, you need the crunch factor.
Now we know why you like crackers so much. Pringles.
Also, why
We
you
should
like
talk about that.
Cheez-Its, because they're way more burnt and crunchy. Therefore, Dane likes them better.
Okay, we're getting to the bottom of it here.
Maybe.
Are you a fan of rocks?
like eating gravel.
Gravel.
Cheesy gravel. I like a cheeseburger.
Cheesy gordita gravel. The naked chicken gravel.
Stop.
Um,
I'm more a fan of like the Naked Brothers band.
wow.
A bold take.
That has just nothing to do with anything we're talking about. Pringles, how are they?
They aight.
Great.
They
aight.
I think Pringles are pretty damn good. They're better. They're better
The
than.
bad door. The...
I think they're better than Lay's.
Yeah, that's correct.
I mean, are you really gonna say that Pringles aren't as airy as Lay's? I mean, they're both like.
But they're in a can.
They're a little
Jordan.
crispy.
All right, and now you're just being an oppositionist at this point. They're
No, I'm not.
Oppositionist.
No, I'm
You're being
not.
a separatist. You're being an enemy of the state.
I'm being a Confederate.
I don't know if that's.
No, I don't want to be.
applicable.
I don't want to be associated with that.
You said
No. What's it called? I like Pringles better than regular Lay's. Okay, this is the thing. I don't dislike Lay's. I just feel like they're like the bare minimum of what a chip is.
I mean, they're the classic chip. They're the basis on which all chips have come from.
Maybe. But that doesn't make them the best.
Yeah, it does.
They're the mother chip.
Yeah. They're the all-seeing chip.
I wonder if they were the first chip. I wonder which major chip was the first chip.
I wonder
Lay's.
I wonder in what age the first
Prehistoric
chip
era.
was invented.
Did you guys know
Did
that
it come over to the States on a ship?
on a ship or a boat?
On a blimp?
Did you guys know that Doritos were invented in Disneyland?
I do solely because you've told me this before.
I'm sure I did.
I did not know that. I was going to say that they might have been invented in the seventh circle of hell.
That's just so rude. Doritos are a perfectly good chip.
You have an illness.
All right, moving
Why
on.
did you say that without laughing?
Because
so
he meant
rude.
it with his heart.
You're so hard on Doritos, which are great.
They're shit.
We didn't even talk about Cheetos. Come on, Cheetos are bad. They're a bad chip.
Oh,
And they
Cheetos
have to
are
go.
I mean, we talked about
unanimously
it.
the worst. Yeah.
You
We-
act as if like everyone on Earth thinks this.
No, we all just said Cheetos, didn't we? Oh
No,
wait, you
I said
you
Ruffles.
Ruffles.
I like
Cheetos.
Cheetos
Oh,
a
that's
lot.
right. Sorry, everyone here who
Cheetos
matters
are my
said
second
Cheetos.
favorite. All right, you gotta go. Goodbye.
Yeah, you have an illness.
This one is actually 6 different things here. This is gonna be a tough one,
Jesus.
Stop.
but this is the last one, so we gotta end it with a bang.
All right.
Lucky Charms, Honey Nut Cheerios, Fruit Loops, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Apple Jacks, Fruity Pebbles.
Fruit Loops. No, Fruity Pebbles.
Hold
Hold on, let's go through and make, and each one of us
Let's
list
make
these,
a
list these
round
in
robin
order
tournament.
of best to worst, personally.
Okay.
Okay, so for me, I'm gonna say, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Lucky Charms, Apple Jacks, Honey
of the
Nut
mic.
Cheerios, Fruit Loops, Fruity Pebbles.
Okay. I'm gonna go, and I will state here that I don't eat sugary cereal much, but I'm gonna go Cinnamon Toast Crunch number 1, Lucky Charms, Honey Nut Cheerios, Apple Jacks, Fruit Loops, Fruity Pebbles coming in last.
Yep.
Wow,
That was
you guys
close.
are very similar.
Yeah, we're close.
Hmm.
I think one of those was reversed.
Might have been, I don't know.
Because I think Apple Jacks and Honey Nut Cheerios were reversed.
Also, I feel like Honey Nut Cheerios is the outlier on this list.
Yeah, I was
it's
about
not
to say
really a
it's-
fruity cereal.
but
It's not the
well, it's not a
same.
it's not
Cinnamon
a
Toast Crunch
sugary-
isn't the same. Lucky Charms, Fruity Pebbles, Cinnamon Toast Crunch are kind of all fruit or are kind of all sugary.
I would say that
Wait,
all of them on
mean,
here
Cinnamon
are pretty,
Toast
are
Crunch
pretty
is
sugary,
sugary.
except for Honey Nut Cheerios.
I'd say they're all like in the same league. It's fine to put these all together. If you're gonna put basically every cereal together, this is the list.
I reckon that you could probably take out Honey Nut Cheerios and replace it with like Sugar Smacks or like Frosted
fuck is
Flakes.
that?
What
or
the
something
fuck
like
are
that.
Sugar Smacks?
Well, Sugar Smacks are great. Or
No one's ever eaten Sugar Smacks.
Get the fuck out of here. Of
I
course,
mean-
with the frog. He wears a fucking hat, Jordan.
What are you talking
Are you talking about like store brand shite?
No.
Some bottom it's the one that comes in like the fucking 5-pound
No,
bag.
fuck
like, what
off.
Are you talking about,
It's not
dude?
a Safeway, like, it's not a Safeway brand. It's real. Okay, if anyone's listening right now and you've heard of Sugar Smacks, just send
All
us
one
an
of
email.
you.
Smacks.
Send us an email, just
Dane's mom and
berating
dad,
Jordan.
please send us an email. You're the only other
No,
people
look
who
at
know
this.
what
Oh, it's
is.
Honey Smack. No, wait, there are Sugar Smacks, too.
I've never heard of this.
Honey Smacks is the one I was thinking of.
Doesn't make any
He wears a
difference.
dope-ass hat.
I have seen that before.
Well, this
oh,
is
so
this
it's
is
Kellogg's.
real for sure. This is not Safeway.
It's broke ass.
No, get out of here. These are
Actually, I don't even
you
know.
can't compare
There's
this
no
to
comparison.
anything.
Actually,
Yeah, you can't compare this to anything.
well, there's clearly a reason why we've never heard of it.
Look, Honey Smacks are great.
All right,
I've never had it. I mean, I'll try
Honey
it.
Smacks are great. Don't
It's
add
probably
them.
Honey Nut Cheerios, basically.
It's not. It's like
Is it like wheat?
no. It's like puffy. Like they look sort of like coffee beans,
Yeah.
but they're like puffy. Like
I've had that cereal, but not Honey Smacks.
it's kind of like Honey Nut Cheerios, sort of like the appearance of it, but it's a different form factor. Like it's like a glazed kind of like sugary little thing.
It's a sugary little thing.
It's good. And then the milk. Mwah! Okay, we have to talk about the milk with each.
I mean,
of the
I never
cereals.
gave my top.
Yeah,
I never gave my
Give us
last.
yours,
That's
and then we
true.
can talk about milk, and then segue that into our.
into our
Taste
Wacky
test.
Film.
Okay, so I'm gonna say Cinnamon Toast Crunch is number 1.
We all agree on that.
And then I'm gonna. This is hard. I'm gonna go Honey Nut Cheerios number 2.
Wow.
Really, that's
Yeah. And then I'm gonna go Fruity Pebbles, the one that you guys both put at last.
damn.
I enjoy those a lot. And then I'm gonna go
Dude, you're going in.
Apple Jacks, Lucky Charms, Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops are trash.
You're a separatist.
Yeah.
You're an oppositionist.
I was very surprised you guys had like the same exact list. Basically.
Well, what we did was we reversed Apple Jacks and Honey Nut Cheerios. Mm-hmm. But we had the same first two and the same final two.
What was your second place?
Lucky Charms. I think, if I remember correctly, mine was Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Lucky Charms, Apple Jacks, Honey Nut Cheerios, Fruit Loops, Fruity Pebbles. I think yours had Apple Jacks and...
Now state your full list again.
I'm not doing that.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I like Fruity Pebbles. Like, I feel like they have a lot more flavor than, like, some of these. Because, like, the Fruit Loops and the Apple Jacks, they do so wet and, like...
They do, but that's why I like them. Because I don't like the intense flavor of Fruity Pebbles. It's too much. You can't do... That's going to be really loud.
That is going to be incredibly loud.
I've probably never had Fruity Pebbles, but they look very plain to me. So.
They have more flavor.
It's too much. It's too much.
I mean, how are they different than Fruit Loops?
Because
Smaller,
because there's so many of them.
They don't get soggy like Fruit Loops.
But there's so many of them, and like the flavor for me.
There's so many of them. The flavor is too strong. They just can't deal with how aggressive the cereal is.
No, honestly, I feel like the flavor is too strong for me.
It's like a double rainbow. It's too intense.
It's too strong, and I don't like the flavors. So it's just too much of something I don't like.
Interesting.
And Fruit Loops are also kind of shit, but I don't like fruity cereal. I think that's what it is. I don't need that in the morning. But I think Fruit Loops are better because of the fact that they get a little bit soggier and like the milk doesn't get as just saturated with like ridiculous amounts of sugar. Yeah, like, in flavor, I guess. It's like I like how it's just not as intense.
All right.
It's not as overbearing.
All right, old man Dane.
All right, fuck off.
All right. Do we have anything more to say about these boys?
No.
You're wrong.
Cinnamon is the Winamon.
Well done.
I feel like... Were you waiting to use that one?
No, I actually just thought of that.
We didn't talk about Apple Jacks. Apple Jacks are pretty good.
Yeah.
They're all right, yeah. I feel like they're kind of a mix between like the fruity, incredibly intense, aggressive, like...
just overbearing, just mind-numbingly powerful flavor.
I fucking hate how...
of Fruity Pebbles. And
they just grab hold of you, they just don't let go, okay?
It's like a mix, yeah. It's like a mix of like a weedy, kind of more, regular, just crunchy, sugary cereal mixed with a fruity one, which I feel tastes good.
Okay.
Wait, is it cinnamon flavored, but they're called Apple Jacks? Isn't that the whole thing?
No, it's cinnamon. No,
cinnamon apple.
There's the cinnamon like pieces, and there's the apple pieces. It's like pinkish orange, and then the other one is green. And they're little loops.
I'll take your word for it.
You don't remember the commercials where he was like running like...
Yeah, but cinnamon always wins.
Yeah,
because it's
that doesn't
cinnamon
mean
flavor.
But there's the apple guy is like still there, He's still
there, but he always loses. You never hear about the losers in the history books, all right?
That's true.
Or on the covers of a cereal bar. History
is written by the winners.
Yeah, and the winner is Cinnamon.
History is written by the Cinnamon.
Stop. All right. Well, guys, that's it.
Now we're done.
Guys, the epic trilogy of One's Gotta Go has come and gone.
Yep. Return of the
Winamon.
Return of the Winamon.
Are there no more
Return of the Cinnamon?
I don't have any more. Okay. We've pretty much exhausted all the ones that I found interesting. There are plenty. We could probably think of some, honestly.
The one that we... I won't mention what it was, but the one that we looked at before we started.
Oh, yeah.
It was so good.
There was one that was racist against white people that was pretty funny. And for that reason, we could honestly probably show it, but we're not going to.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyways.
Funny. It was funny.
Yeah, so One's Gotta Go between this segment, the movie segment, and...
Video games.
This segment's gotta go.
One's Gotta Go's gotta go. So let's move on.
True. So let's move on to the movie mon.
Guys, every week we watch a film. A film that is picked from our Wacky Film List, which is a curated list, curated by us, of course.
All the professionals.
All the movies that we have not seen, or at least one of us hasn't seen, that are deemed significant by us. And only us.
For some reason.
It doesn't have to be because they're good.
No. It just says, hey, this movie.
We should put it on there. We should put it on the list.
In fact, there are for sure bad movies on there.
100%.
Which we haven't run
such as
into
Leon
yet.
the Professional. No, I watch that movie and we're gonna really enjoy it.
We're gonna be
Sure
like, this
we
is the
could.
best movie we've seen. Jordan will not like it more than Apocalypse Now. Jordan is
No movie has beaten Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Nor
is that
will
your
it ever.
favorite?
Yeah.
And there's where we differ. So the movie we watched tonight was a film, an indie film. It wasn't an indie film. It was a very popular film called Inglorious Basterds, a Quentin Tarantino film.
Quentin Tarantino original.
Tarantino for you dummies.
Tarantino for you normies out there.
For all you lames.
Yeah, so this movie is it takes place during World War II. It's revolves around a group of Americans called the Inglorious Basterds. I guess not all Americans. They're all Nazi haters.
And they're all Jews.
Are they all Jews?
Yes.
Well, that's a point I didn't get.
They just say that at the beginning, although I don't think they made it clear that. I mean, I
don't know
Brad
if
Pitt's
Aldo
character was just
is.
like, you bunch of like Jewish Americans, we're gonna go kill the Nazis. Although I don't know if Brad Pitt himself was Jewish.
That was
Yeah,
the
that
thing.
was-
I don't
that's-
know if he's a Jewish.
Yeah, that's the only reason
Descent.
why I was skeptical of that.
Yeah.
He wasn't
Right.
wearing a yarmulke, so I wasn't sure.
I didn't see any dreidels. Chekhov's dreidel.
There was a large lack of Jewish imagery in this film. I will
true.
True.
say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it for the plot. They're trying to like kill Nazis
Hitler.
and stuff, I guess. Yeah, killed Hitler.
Well, technically, the first part of the film, they're not trying to kill Hitler. They're just trying to kill Nazis, but that
They do
becomes
kind
their
of-
goal.
They stumble onto a plot from a different cast of characters. There's multiple
Plot lines.
there's multiple plot lines. I guess multiple factions or multiple groups of people that converge into one overarching plot, which is kill Adolf
and
and
the
the
Third
war.
Reich.
and the Third Reich.
Guys, what did you think of this film?
So I had already seen this movie.
And I quote, you said, this might be my favorite Tarantino film.
It is my favorite Tarantino film.
Jeez.
I'll say that right now. I find that to be amazing.
Really,
Yeah.
I think it's his best and my favorite.
There's
fuck just happened
There's
out
like
there?
an explosion outside.
That was weird.
I have no clue what that was. Someone shot
Forget
someone.
about it. We're fine.
Yeah, I'd already seen it, but you guys had not.
True.
I've already. Yeah, I mean, I can go last. What do you guys think? I just want to say that you guys hadn't seen it yet.
There was definitely a lot of hype leading up to this, not only from you but from other people too.
Yeah.
I think my brother, this is one of his favorites. A lot of people around me were telling me that it was extremely good. I definitely was underwhelmed just from those reviews. I didn't think it was bad. It was like a more straightforward film than a lot of his films.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good stuff, a lot of good dialogue, a lot of good action, but I don't think it was his best by any means. And yeah, it was not as good as I thought it would be.
Yeah,
I'm sad to hear that.
from Dane, from other people, like, you have to see Inglorious Basterds. Like, it's just so crazy and, like, awesome. And I didn't get it. Like, it, compared to, and maybe I just don't like Tarantino at this point, but, like, I've come away from many of his films going, like, yeah, that was, like, okay. And, like, a lot of them I like better than normal. I like Pulp Fiction a lot. I'm sure there are others there I can think of, but, like, this one, like, the writing didn't really do it for me. There wasn't a lot of great action in the film. There was just, like, again, this was more straightforward than most of them, and I think that detracts from, like, the film a lot more, because it's very, like, straightforward, and also does a bunch of, like, weird Tarantino shit that doesn't, like, work that well when the movie is that straightforward. Like, a movie like Pulp Fiction and some others, like, weirder ones, like Kill Bill, like, the weird stuff that happens in those films works because those films themselves are very strange and kind of don't follow a standard movie, like, path, whereas this one was pretty straightforward, and then a bunch of weird shit happens, just like, here's, like, a weird cutaway to introduce this character that we're going to do, like, one time. It's like, all right, that's weird. I'll chalk that one up to Tarantino. And then it's just like, here's, like, really loud music that's playing, and we cut that out instantly, like, in the scenes. It's just weird stuff that, like, I can tell is, like, a Tarantino thing, but it just, the film itself just didn't, like, I don't know, it was fine. It's not a bad movie, but it was, like, didn't, like, come close to much of, like, Tarantino stuff that I actually like.
Yeah, I think there were like a fair amount of scenes where it was like just talking, which is a hallmark of Tarantino. And I think it wasn't bad, any of those scenes, but if it weren't for like some underlying dramatic tension that was happening in pretty much all of those scenes, the scenes would be 100% boring.
Yeah.
Like they're drawn out to their absolute limit. Like the bar scene, I feel like even with the dramatic tension underlying, it was too much.
I hated that. I hated the ending of that scene because like it's building up to like such a like the start before they're even at the bar. There's this massive build up where like Michael Fassbender's introduced and like we're gonna do this plan, like we're gonna start this operation, we're gonna do this whole thing, and then they get to like they meet up with Brad Pitt and they're like, okay, like this is the plan. It's going down. We're going to the basement. Things might get hairy, but maybe they won't. You don't know. And then it's like, okay, well. We get there, and then like that scene is like 30 minutes long. It's just like, okay, what are they doing right now? They're like trying to build tension. The tension doesn't even build until the very end, but when they're like pointing guns at each other.
Spoilers.
Listen, you guys have seen this movie already.
Maybe not.
You're supposed to have seen this movie, as we've stated before. And then like it just ends like in such like a very anticlimactic way of just like, oh, like ultimately that entire scene just means nothing. It's like, well, great, good job, Tarantino. You've done that. Like that's how I felt with a lot of like the scenes in the movie. It was just like it builds to just nothing, and then they just skip and go to the next like chapter of the film or whatever.
Yeah, I think that it ending in those ways is not necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like it does that pretty much every time, which is not acceptable. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think it was like overwhelmingly bad in that respect, but I definitely see that line of argument.
It's just that bar scene is just the biggest one because, okay, if you don't want to hear what happens during that bar scene, skip like the next 2 minutes of dialogue here. But like they build up to that end point, and then they like out of literally nowhere, like that scene again takes like 30 minutes. The final shootout scene where everyone just dies takes maybe 5 seconds. It's just like, oh, here's like a bunch of like very quick shots of people shooting each other. Like I had no idea who was shooting who. It's just swapping between a bunch of people, and then they're just all dead. I was like, why?
Yeah.
That could have like been played out in such like a much better way than just kill everyone. Like that just seemed pointless to me at the end.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a hallmark of Tarantino, to be like completely unattached to the characters, because they do that in a lot of different Quentin Tarantino movies where they'll kill someone so fast, and it's like that wasn't the dramatic like conclusion that I wanted to have happen. And it works better in some movies than others.
I agree.
Dane, you have anything to say?
I'm angry.
Why? Please tell me why this is your favorite Tarantino film, because while watching it, I cannot wrap my head around that.
There's something to be said for Pulp Fiction and like, let's see, Pulp Fiction, Django, like pretty much all of his movies all have some sort of like twist or like quirkiness to them, which is just Tarantino. Pulp Fiction, you could say, is maybe his best because of like the weird like just the structure of it and like all the weird act and like chapter stuff he does with that, like the multiple plot lines. You could say that maybe like Reservoir Dogs is the best because it only takes place in like one room, and it's a heist movie where they never show the heist and all that kind of stuff. But with this one, there's something that just feels sort of like epic about it, I guess, to me. Like it's kind of like grand in scale, whereas like with Pulp Fiction and even with like Django, they're able to take like a big like conflict or some sort of big like I don't even know what the right word, like some sort of like large scale conflict, and make it feel very intimate and personal. With like, especially with Django, where it just follows like literally two people through like their adventure through the South and everything. Or like Pulp Fiction, they allude to a lot of other like, you know, gang or like syndicate stuff, but it's just following these two hitmen, stuff like that. But with Inglorious Basterds, they make it, something about it feels a little more epic and grand in scale than something like his, which is not, I don't think that's why it makes it better, but that's why I think it's his best, because it's like an epic, like kind of grandiose tale with different people coming in and converging in different parts of Germany and France and everything. Like something about it seems more meaningful, I guess.
I got the opposite feeling of that, and I think that also comes from me just like I didn't like the characters in that movie. I didn't like the American characters in that movie. Brad Pitt, I don't know, could not get behind Brad Pitt's character in that. I feel like his accent and everything he was doing was just so ridiculous that like that detracted from the film for me a lot, because I don't know if people thought his acting was great in that movie. I felt like he was like one of the worst characters in that movie.
It sounded like a California guy doing a Southern accent. It did not sound like a real Southern person.
It was definitely supposed to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was, but like there's a way to do that that's like funny and like he's in on it, but it just like his character is like straight faced, and it came off very like poor to me.
Yeah. I don't know. I also like how throughout the film, Hans Landa, I mean, he pretty much carries the movie. I like how the audience is always in on, like, you're kind of rooting for him while you're going through the movie. It's one of those villains where it's like, oh, you love to hate him, but it's like, he's so good at everything that he's doing that you're like, God, this fucking guy is doing this again, but you kind of want to see what he's going to do because he's so entertaining to watch. Like, especially, that's why I love the first opening scene, because from the very beginning, he's in control of, like, the entire situation, but he's so charming that you're like, well, this guy's, like, a cool guy. Like, he's not that bad. He's the Jew hunter, but he seems like a cool guy. But then the whole time he's like manipulating what's his name? The dad. Yeah. Into like giving away the position, like switching the languages, like that whole thing. And then for the rest of the movie, he's constantly like 3 or 4 steps ahead of everyone, like putting the milk at the table with the strudel, and like, you know, taking the shoe and having her put it on, and like all that kind of stuff. Like, as you go through, you're like, God, this guy is here again. Like, he just played everyone. There's something exciting about that too, where like you're kind of rooting for, obviously you want Hitler to die, you want like the Germans to get their just desserts, but then you're watching Hans Landa just like school everyone, and there's something exciting.
I agree. He was the most interesting part of that film.
Yeah.
And without him, that movie would have been nothing to me. But he at least did carry himself, like, and the rest of that movie. Like, again, he's like, it's hard to be like, oh, this, like, I liked this character because he's a Nazi. So it's hard to do that.
He's a terrible person.
He's presented in a way that you're just like, this guy is like masterminding this stuff, and like he's a very good villain.
Yeah, he's a great villain. I don't know. Now that I've rewatched it, because I hadn't seen it in a long time, I don't know if I would stand by it being my favorite Tarantino film, but I think it's his best film.
There are other things too that like I just didn't like how, like, I don't like the way the Americans are portrayed in that movie. Like, it's very off-putting when the Nazi at the very start is presented in like this kind of like charming way, where you're like, oh, this guy like was nice to this person who was harboring like Jewish people, and then the first scene with the Americans is like, oh, we're gonna scalp these dudes, and like we're awful fucking people, we're gonna shoot these guys in the back, like it's just like all right, I get it, but like, I don't know, that seems uncool. Yeah, like the end of the movie is just them murdering like people, like, and also,
but they're all scum.
Are they? I mean, they're all
high-ranking,
presumably Nazis, but like,
well, they're all high-ranking German officials.
Okay.
Nazi officials.
That's fair,
they're all members of
but
the
still,
military.
There are ways to handle Nazis and not burn them all at the stake.
Yeah, but they do kind of just present them as being like, oh, I guess they never really, I don't know. I think this movie is billed as a revenge fantasy, so it's really just like an over-the-top kind of like almost cartoonish or comic book style, like, let's just fucking, because it's just ridiculous. Like, let's just burn down a theater full of Nazis. Like, while it's happening, there's like, she's on the projection, like, just maniacally laughing. She's like, oh yeah, you're all gonna die in here. Like, it's completely absurd. So you can't really look at that and be like, they're portraying Americans terribly. Like, there's like over the top, and then it just goes through the stratosphere. Like, it's so far like away from anything that's remotely realistic that I feel like you can't say that.
I mean, they're depicting World War II. I mean, that's a realistic thing that happened. So
no, I know they are, but like, it's so far removed. It's so far removed from that. It almost feels like a fantasy film to me. It's not very.
It's
realistic.
a fantasy for Americans to kill the Nazis, but the Americans are complete assholes, so it doesn't even feel good.
Are they though?
Yes.
Dude,
during
they're
the
scalping people. Like, that's not cool.
During the whole first scene, and the guy like beats him to death, and like they just had absolutely no care in the world.
I would say that I'm of the mindset that all those people in the film like deserve that.
They deserve to die horribly. They deserve to be tortured.
Yes.
I can't get on board with that. That's too much. Like, I get it. They're
These
fucking
people-
Nazis and
these
they're
people-
terrible fucking people, but like, not everyone deserves to be beaten in the head with like shit, or like as they're like stuck in a theater, be shot in the back as they're trying to flee from getting burned alive. Like, that's not how you deal with issues and enemies. Like, you deal with them in a proper manner.
But they lost that. They lost the right to that when they just committed a genocide of an entire.
They didn't torture all those people.
They did. They had them in concentration camps. Like,
I mean, this is a much bigger issue of like human rights and stuff like that we're going.
I'm completely against your guys' viewpoint.
All right, torture everyone, kill them.
No, because they did. They had them in concentration camps. They took them away from their families and didn't feed them.
I mean, they do, but the answer is not to become those same people.
They put them in gas
we're doing
chambers.
just as bad.
Well, that's why. I mean, this is a totally different debate because I'm for the death penalty for that exact reason. I feel like you give
the torture penalty.
I feel like, yeah, I would torture people. I would torture like
That's
a.
insane.
What the fuck?
You're
I would.
Do not write a check that you cannot cash. You're saying ridiculous things.
No, I would be 100% for torturing like a rapist
All
or
right,
something.
Just
like,
we're done with this conversation.
No,
Please
honestly,
stop this
that's
conversation
insane.
right now. I don't want to talk about this.
All right.
Just saying.
I think there are a lot of things that like Tarantino just goes like, this would be cool if I added this in there. Don't worry about if it's like tonally like similar to what's happening at all or anything like that. Like one of the examples is Samuel L. Jackson narrating certain
Just
parts
out of
of the film.
So cool though.
It's I like it because it's Samuel L. Jackson, but it just has absolutely no place in the tonal like fabric of this movie.
It doesn't, but once you get rid of it having to have a certain, or once you get rid of the notion that a film has to have a certain consistent tone, that you can kind of just like let go and be like, oh, this is cool. Like how he puts like a David Bowie song in the middle of like the climactic act of the film.
Yeah.
Like it fits well.
Yeah,
I think.
I like the fact that he does that for sure. Like puts in stuff that's like, oh, this would be cool.
Like how in Django he throws in like rap and stuff.
Yeah. The part where like there's like a hip hop song while they're like cruising in their carriage or whatever. That was really cool. I like that. That brings me on my next point is that after Django, like I was pretty much spoiled because I think that's his best film by far. I think you can't top that. Yeah. Jordan, have you seen that?
I have seen Django. I like it. I like Pulp Fiction better, but Django is a fine film.
I think Pulp Fiction, like Django is like kind of a straightforward movie, but it has enough like twists and turns to like make it be like a really good masterpiece. And I feel like Pulp Fiction is just too like it's too like open-ended, and there's too like, I don't know, it's too specific. It's not like a full movie. Like it's like portions of a story.
Well, for me, it's because like I like the writing in that movie a lot more than most of his other work, and like I feel like Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta in that movie are like, they work really well together, and they like everyone in that movie does very well and like acts well. Like the writing is really well done, and like the tone of that movie is consistent throughout, and I think that helps like carry everything in that film.
Yeah,
and that happens in Django. I just happen to like the actual story of Pulp Fiction better than Django. Django is a really good film too, but
I think Django is kind of like Star Wars, except with all the like Tarantino-isms and like cool stuff happening.
And technically, Django, like as like on a visual level and like artistically, looks way better than Pulp Fiction, but
it's at least more varied.
Yeah,
it's a more full.
Pulp Fiction
film.
has so many classic shots in it.
It does.
Yeah, but that's pretty much
Like,
all it has. Not as like, I'm not saying that's all it has in terms of a film, but I'm saying in terms of film like techniques of like camera work and stuff like that, it's like, okay, it has good cinematography. Yeah.
Okay.
But okay.
Anything else about this?
That's all I have.
I'm
all I
disappointed that
gots
you
to
guys
say.
didn't like it more. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed with Mr. Quentin. I was gonna say something else, but I forgot.
I will say that I don't think I've talked to anyone else whose favorite film of his is Inglorious Basterds. I might be an outlier on that one.
I definitely think there's some out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I
There's
said,
some for like every.
I love the villain. I love. It's just a fun. All of Tarantino's stuff is fun to watch.
It's a fun, torturous romp.
For me, like, I literally, like, I don't want to get that deep into it, but I cannot, like, I don't think it's okay to watch this movie and just, like, separate yourself from, like, the things that are happening and say, oh, it's okay because, like, this is ridiculous. Like, that stuff happens in the movie, and, like, that, like, it's presented in a way that is, like, you can't just separate yourself from that and say, oh, it's fine because, like, this is just, like, a movie and, like, this is a revenge fantasy. Like, it's still, like, that's still the acts that are happening in the movie, and, like, for me, like, that just ruins, like, a lot of the tone of the movie for me, is that, like, things are portrayed in, like, the message that movie is sending is not one that I agree with.
Fair.
What message is it sending?
That it's okay to torture and kill anyone, and not, like...
No, they're saying that it's okay to torture and kill some of the worst people to ever walk the earth.
I mean, it doesn't matter, because you can't... That's... It might be the message, but also, are you really gonna, like, do, like... You're doing the same thing as, like, the people you hate. Like, you're just becoming them at that point.
But they lose, like I said, they lose that right. They lose the privilege of being treated like normal, respectable humans when they do some of the most, like, heinous atrocities known to mankind.
Okay, so then if you do that to them, do you then lose that right to yourself?
No, because they are the ones who, they did it first. I mean, that's all. I mean, maybe it's wrong, but, like, if someone does that, if someone kills somebody, then I agree with... This is a completely different subject, but that's why I agree with the death penalty, because they already lost that right. They already made their choice. They killed someone. They committed a terrible act. Why should we treat them any better?
Because we're better than them.
So what do?
You process them with due process through the law.
And just spend money on them to just sit in a cell and just...
I mean, if you want to get into that, the death penalty costs more than...
Just
whatever you're talking about.
A bullet costs like 2 cents. Just buy
okay,
a bullet.
then you're just talking about murdering now, so that's
I'm
beyond
saying.
what we're saying.
You're a vigilante, and
no, I don't. I'm not sympathetic towards Nazis, and I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but I'm just saying that, like, these are literally in my mind the worst people to have ever walked the planet. If they get hit in the head with a bat, that's fine. I don't care. If they're burning in a theater and people are shooting them, I don't care.
All right. I love Nazis. Just kidding. All right. Yeah. Are we gonna rate it?
Sure. Quater.
Mine is the nuance scale. Watch this movie if you like Quentin Tarantino. Watch this movie if you want to see an unconventional film about the war. Yeah, and watch this movie if you love violence and possibly unwarranted torture. Debatably.
Or in Dane's case, warranted torture.
Look.
No, let's get back into it.
There's nothing else to say.
All right.
I give it an A.
I'm going to give this movie 7 scalps out of 10.
That's quite high for your nuanced
I didn't say
opinion.
it was a terrible movie. There are things I don't like. I mean, it's still technically a fine film, but...
Well, all right.
If you want my moral scale, it's a 1 out of 10. But
My moral scale. That really set you back, didn't it?
Yeah.
The whole morals of it. Well, all right. It's the video game segment, guys.
It's the one video game segment.
The one segment to rule them all.
Before it's
Vimeos.
gotta go.
One's
Next
gotta
week,
go.
another one's got to go.
Segments.
It's video games.
Guys, what have we been playing? Dane.
I wasn't prepared. I mean, PUBG. We got a chicken dinner the other night.
We did.
Wait.
It was us
2
three
nights ago.
boys.
Was it
Wasn't
last night?
night? I think it was last night.
I think it might have been.
Oh, no, it was last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good one.
We're recording this not on Wednesday, by the way.
Right.
We're recording this on Friday.
At 1 a.m.
It's real late.
we get to do that because it's Friday. Friday.
Yeah, we went full Chris Kyle crew and went in on people with our snipper riffles.
We were efficient machines, tactical, smart, careful.
We went giveaways in the mist for a little bit there.
We did.
I died early.
Not that early, though.
You didn't die that early.
Not that early, yeah.
I mean, it was towards like the latter half of the game, at least.
It seemed like a long time to me, just...
I think it's because those final moments were like the action-packed part of that match, so...
Yeah, it seemed like I missed like the whole like important part of the match.
We were definitely going in. We were literally... I had a Car 98, you had an SKS. We were just dropping people.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
We were
I was
having some intense...
spectating. Heads were being blasted.
Heads were rolling.
We were getting
Also,
tons of headshots.
There were some potatoes that occurred.
At the end, I mean, listen, it's a moment of panic when there's one person there.
Look,
I hit him once, but I just couldn't get that second shot.
Jordan did get downed, and he had the man in front of him.
He did, and then...
It's fine. I
Look.
would have done the same.
Look.
That's why you have a teammate.
I stepped up. Chris Kyle had to take care of business.
Didn't miss a
one
shot.
One shot, one kill.
Chris LaPointe.
Chris LaPointe. I did end the match with a headshot to the man's head.
Finished him.
Dang. I wish I would have seen that. You have the clip, though.
I have the clip.
All right. Maybe we should upload that.
It was pretty good. I thought. I saw him, so I didn't see where he was exactly, and then you're like, oh no, he's over here. And then you went down, and I was like, no, this is not happening
This
right
could
now.
be bad.
This is really bad. But I was so far away from him, and then I just saw his head perfectly. He just, dah! And he dropped like a sack of taters. And that was what, in the game, I just went, dah!
Yeah.
Got him. He probably would have went down regardless after. I hit him with an SKS, which is like, that's going to do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Headshot, make sure. He's not getting up from that
He was done. He was done. And there was, well, I mean, he was the last one left, so he wasn't going down from that one. He was dropping. So that was cool. What else have I been playing?
We had some other close calls to on PUBG also.
That's true.
We had one game after that, I think all three of us, that we got like second or third or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the one where I was alive at the very end, like
that's
in
right.
panic mode there. Well, there was like 4 people left. And I was just
that was when you were in the middle
running.
of the field and you were just running through, like, yeah, that was good.
And I made the fatal error of shooting my gun and alerting everyone to my presence.
Look, you had to do it, though.
At a certain
you didn't
point,
really
we
have
got
to, but you were...
I mean, the guy was like, at this point, this person was just literally right in front of me. I had a giant machine gun. I was like, I have to kill this guy. He's right in front of me. And then, of course, you get dropped after that, but...
That was pretty intense, because it's the classic situation where you're in an open field, and there's, like, 6 guys left.
Yeah.
You can see the whole field, and you can't see anyone. It's like, well, there's 6 guys here somewhere.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do about this?
Yeah, and then when you see, like, 2 of them in one spot, you're like, well, I have to do something.
Yeah, and you feel like you have to shoot them, but as soon as you shoot them, you're done.
Yeah. I don't blame you for shooting. It was the wrong decision.
I could have... I did hold out
but,
shooting for a very long time until that... I mean, that guy was probably going to see me. He was
I say that being like, it's the wrong decision, but it was really your, like... Probably one of your, almost your only choice at that point.
I could have waited for someone else to
I would have
shoot
done
him,
the same
but,
thing.
I'm
just saying.
There's not a lot of
Look,
options.
the tension is high. You have a big-ass gun.
Someone shows up in front of you, you have a shot.
Look, Chekhov's M249. When you have that big-ass gun, someone rolls up in front of you, you're going to shoot him.
You got to shoot him. It's just simple.
It's true.
I didn't play this game not to shoot people.
I didn't loot this big-ass gun from a care package not to unload on someone.
There's a lot of matches where I shoot maybe 0 shots and then die.
That's why you gotta be aggressive.
That's why if you have some throwables, throw that shit.
Yeah, throwables are actually the most underrated thing in that game.
Yeah, look, you have 3 smoke grenades. You're trying to get out of a sticky situation. Just
Chuck
pop
'em.
that shit. Harry Houdini your ass out of there.
Harry Houdini. Harry Jeremy.
Harry Jeremy. I've been playing... Uncharted.
Okay.
I've been playing Lost Legacy. Uncharted the Lost
Do tell.
Legacy. I like it. It's... I didn't like the start of it, honestly. I don't even know if it's the prologue or if it's
The fugue.
prologue, first chapter, prologue and fugue. I don't know if it's the prologue or the first chapter. It might be a little mix of both, but it's not a spoiler. It's the first demo they showed where she's wearing like like she's undercover essentially, running around the city, and she like goes.
No, what is she wearing?
Through the, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't want to say what it is because I don't know.
It's a head scarf of sorts.
Yeah, she's in India. So it's not like it's not a hijab. It's something else. It's just like a scarf, whatever.
Everybody crucified to end, please.
Yeah, look, I don't want to be insensitive. I don't know what it is, but she's
You've already been insensitive enough this episode, so. Nazi lives matter.
She's get out of here.
Told her no.
No, that's not what I mean by that.
Censor that one.
That's not what I mean.
She's undercover, and you're kind of. It's not really a walking simulator. You are going through areas, and you're like sneaking and climbing and doing Uncharted stuff. Mm-hmm. But it just didn't really grab me because it throws you into. It starts en media race, and it's not like Uncharted 4 where it starts, or Uncharted 2, or even I guess 3 kind of, where it starts you like in the middle of something, and like you kind of get hints to like what's happened before, and then they go back. It's just you start in the middle of it and you go forward,
right?
Which I don't know if I like as much for an Uncharted game. Especially, I mean, I think they're banking on you knowing Chloe and like her character, and then knowing Nadine through Uncharted 4.
I'll tell you right now, had you asked me before I like looked up who Chloe was, I did not remember her from any of the other
Really?
Uncharted
From Uncharted
games,
2?
Not ringing a bell.
Really?
I knew she was in there. I just don't know what her character did.
Oh.
Well, she's a thought.
I
She's
thought
just
it
a
was his
thoughty.
wife in the fourth game. I was like, oh, Chloe. Like, wait, no, that's not Chloe. And then I was like, I don't know who she is.
Wow.
Interesting.
You definitely don't know about the lore of Uncharted.
That's one of the least interesting parts of Uncharted to me is some of these side characters.
I actually really love the story in Uncharted. Anyway, so you play as Chloe, and basically if no one knows, the plot is that Chloe, her dad was like a huge treasure hunter, because of course he was, and he is after this tusk of Ganesh, which is like some Indian deity, and he was like obsessed with it, and it was like his life's work, and then he died or something, and she's taking over the hunt for it, and she partners up with Nadine Ross, who was the sub-antagonist, I guess,
semi-antagonist,
somewhat kind of not antagonist of
Yeah.
Uncharted 4, who like basically she owned the private military that Rafe was using throughout, and so yeah, you team up with her mostly for her like resources and connections, to go after this artifact, and there's of course more to it, but it's interesting because Chloe is like the sarcastic, like somewhat Nathan Drake-esque, like wisecracking, scallywag, and then Nadine is like the Nadine is like the straightforward, like, we're gonna do this by the book. We're gonna like go in and do like, we're gonna do this straight-laced and boring, and she's like kind of serious and angry about everything, and so they have some cool dynamics where like Chloe will rush in head first or something and do something nuts, and then Nadine is like, I told you not to do that, and like they have a lot of banter, like just because of their personality types.
Classic Uncharted.
It is classic Uncharted, and it's cool because they're two completely different people. Like they're like completely opposite sides of the coin. But the part about this game that I like is it started off very linear, and then
Becomes an open world.
it does
For
actually
one chapter. For like one chapter.
Yeah, but it's huge. It's pretty cool. It's like,
I didn't know about this.
yeah, so it's like there's the first two chapters, which are pretty linear, and then there's another like Uncharted-esque chapter where you like start out in a beautiful. First off, this game looks incredible. Playing on a 4K TV with the PS4 Pro, some like the best lighting effects I've seen in a game, probably even like from stuff I've played on PC. Like this game is pretty unbelievable looking.
Yeah.
But it starts off in like a lush forest. You're in India pretty much this entire game, I think, but you're running through and like swinging on vines and doing all the classic Uncharted stuff, and you're like, oh, this is cool. And then you get to a car, like a Jeep, pretty much like the same one you drive in Uncharted 4, but you get to this open area and you get a map, like an actual like physical map that you can mark things on. And then it's kind of just like, oh, we have to go find these towers or these like temples, and then you literally just get to drive around this entire area. Like not even like the Madagascar one where it's like, okay, you can go straight up this hill or you can go around this corner, but you get to the same spot. It's like you literally just get to look at this map and you get to go wherever you want. There's like optional little tokens you can hunt down. Like you can go to this burial site. You can find this like it's like a little like cage that's closed, and there's like I think 11 or 12 like token slots. And when you see it, it shows like a little like topographical map on this little like mural, and you get to go around the map and like track down all these tokens. And I'm assuming you get like some sort of treasure or something if you find them. But it's completely optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. But as you're driving around, there'll be like little camps of these mercenaries. And so when you go there, you'll be like, okay, they're probably like guarding a token or whatever.
And kill these fools.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily like Ubisoft where it's like, oh, we have to check off these towers and you have to go like kill this like, evil thing in this corner. It's like it's kind of up to you to look at this map and be like, okay, I have to go around this whole cliffside and like do this kind of stuff. So it has that like Uncharted exploration element, but it's kind of freeform, which is neat. I haven't finished that open world segment yet, so I don't know if the game. I'm assuming it closes back up after that.
From what I've heard, I think it does, but
it probably does. It wouldn't surprise me, but that really caught me off guard because I didn't expect that in an Uncharted game. So it's cool. It's fun. It's $40. I think it's like 9 chapters, probably around like 10-ish hours, 10, 11 hours.
How many times do you find a wall that you can't quite climb up and Nadine has to pull you up over it?
How many times do you get a boost?
Not often, actually. And actually, the very first... they make fun of that, actually, because... Which I like. That's the other thing I like. They do a lot of tongue-in-cheek references to things that people didn't like about Uncharted 4. Like, the very first time you find a wall that you can't quite get up, it's like, alright, I'm gonna go look for something. And then you, like, go up on this roof and you find a crate, and you pull it out, and then you push it off. And when you push it off, it literally falls on a roof, and the roof just collapses. And then Nadine falls through it, and she's like, what the hell? Are you trying to, like, kill me with that crate or something? And then she's like, yeah, I think I'm good on crates or something like that. And then you literally never see another crate, like, for the rest of the game. And then they have other ones where, like, you're, like, climbing up from... You of course, you land on a ledge, and it crumbles because it's Uncharted and nothing goes right. And you fall off this ledge, and then you're climbing up, like, a vine or something, and you reach for... Or Nadine reaches for you. She's like, oh, like, give me your hand. Like, I'll give you a boost. And then she's like, no, just... I got it. Like, you don't need to do that. And then you just do it yourself. So there's moments where, like, they kind of make fun of the Uncharted.
And you just do a double jump.
And then you just fly.
Oh,
no.
I'm in. Now I'm gonna play this.
No, it's just funny because she's like, "Oh, give me your hand." Then she's like, "No, I got it. Like you can just like it's okay, honey," or something like that. And Chloe just like roasts her. So there's moments where they are self-referential, which is cool.
Cool.
Nice.
It is fun. I would say if you enjoy Uncharted, it's more Uncharted. The puzzles.
You shoot guns.
Yes, you shoot guns. The gunplay feels a little bit different. It feels better in a way than Uncharted 4, but it still doesn't quite feel that great because I don't think that's the best part of Uncharted.
Ostensibly, it's the worst part of Uncharted.
Yeah, I would say like the gunplay in 2 and 3 was serviceable. 4 was getting better. I would say this is the best it's ever been, but still, that's not why I play Uncharted, really. I just love how polished it is. I still think Naughty Dog is the best at creating like a very immersive game experience. Just something feels really nice playing that game. It just feels very, very smooth and fun. So I've been having fun with it.
Are you interested in playing it at all, Coulter?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I probably am not gonna get it unless like it's later in the future and it's like discounted heavily or something. I don't have a huge problem with Uncharted. I think it's fun. I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't incredibly impressed with 4, and I'm not a huge fan of Nadine or Chloe, so I definitely don't need to see. I'm just gonna say right now, there's probably not gonna be any sort of story with them that I care about too much. So
yeah, I mean, I imagine that if I played it and like I would be in for the story. That's one of the reasons I like Uncharted. Is I said I don't like the lore, but I do like the writing and like the plot of the story. Usually, like character interaction is what I like about those games. But this is, from all accounts that I've heard, is more Uncharted, and I was pretty burnt out by the end of 4, and nothing seems to have changed too much, so probably not going to play this unless it was heavily discounted, or if I felt like being a crazy person. But
if you had nothing else to play on the planet Earth.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. It's good.
I mean, again, it's Uncharted. Those games are good. I don't need to play another one.
Yeah,
It's fair.
anything else, buddy?
That's about it.
All right, buddy. All right, other buddy.
I've still been playing more Observer, which is still really good. Still very scary, and also there's a lot of really cool. One of the last like creepy memory sequences I did ended with like me running through what appeared to be someone's memory of a rave, but it was like very like twisted and like broken up in memory. All the character models are like these black like TV like fuzz like looking like things. They're very just like gray and like morphing around. It was really creepy, but like the music is like bumping, and all the character models are like, every time the music would like pulse, you could like see their like character model like twitch and like change positions. It was really cool, and like it was like super sci-fi cyberpunk like black. It was like they're all like these gross like black looking like shadow creature things, and then
Jordan?
it was this like red lighting.
They're gross black looking?
Black looking shadow creatures.
Oh, okay.
Don't try to paint me as a monster. I'm not one.
All right.
Look, we already did that enough with me.
Dane is a monster. Point your anger at him. But yeah, that game is still cool. I haven't beat it yet. I don't know how long it is, but I've been enjoying it. Played more Final Fantasy. I'm not going to really get into that, but that's been great. And
Final Fantasy 14 or 15, right?
No, I'll never play that game again. Although it is getting released on PC, which I think is cool and would probably lessen some of the hatred I have for that game, because it ran not super great on base PS4. But also, no matter how many more frames you get from that game, it's not going to help what's wrong with it. So
yeah, I was like, why is that any?
Honestly, because I'm a little bit jaded, because that game just didn't run well in a lot of the areas, and so now I was like, I could have just waited, a year. Also, they changed a bunch of stuff in that game since it came out. Like, they actually just changed the story in it. There's a ton of DLC. I feel just shortchanged a little bit by that game. Which is a different story in itself, but. Yeah, and then yesterday, Dane and another friend of ours, we played Heroes of the Storm.
Oh, I should have mentioned that.
You should have. I was waiting for it. You didn't.
I should have. Damn it.
But now we'll talk about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a MOBA akin to Dota 2. If people have heard of that league.
Yeah.
And such, but it's a. I don't want to say dumbed down, though I would use that term, but it is a simplified version of those
maybe
games.
I'll like it.
You probably would like it better than Dota 2. There are a lot of mechanics that are removed. A lot of the complexities of those games are removed, which, in my opinion, lowers the skill ceiling in that game and kind of the team like competitive aspect of it. But it is fun to play. Like it is one of those MOBAs, so it still works. And yeah, I don't particularly like the hero setup for it. It's similar to League, in which only a portion of the heroes are available at any given time, unless you buy them with real money. Unfortunately, you can buy them with in-game currency, but it's doled out at a very not usable rate.
Snail's pace.
At a snail's pace. Like, at a match you lose, you gain 50, and that's including a bonus you get for starting the game. You get like a 7-day bonus for like extra stuff. You get 50 gold. I got 90 when we won one. The heroes cost like 10,000 gold.
That's insane.
So, but to be fair, I did buy that. We bought that starter pack or whatever
for $5 real.
Right, and so that gave us 800 like crystals or gems or whatever yeah. But then I played a match and I got a crate, like a loot chest, and it gave me 1,000 gems, which is enough for like 3 heroes.
Sure. I mean, yeah, you do get that, but that's a special situation where you got the actual currency you needed. Like, you don't always get that in a chest. Most of the time you get, when you open those chests in normal, you don't get money. Like, you get a different currency that's not used for buying heroes. It's used for buying like cosmetic things and like skins and sprays.
It is rare.
Kind of
I'm just saying, like, you can potentially
and again, you get that for like your account level, which is like when you play a character, that character will level up. It means like nothing really, other than that you're getting chests when you level up, like Overwatch. But you also have an account level, which is like just the sum of all your characters' levels that you've gotten. And so I think when you hit like level 5 on your account, you get one of those chests that has like 1,000 like currency in it. And I don't know how often you get that, but like that's good to get because you can actually buy. The heroes range in price from like $350 for like the lower end. I don't know why they dictate this character is like epic hero, this character is like high end or whatever, but some of them cost $350, some of them are like 750 like gems or currency or whatever.
Some of them are just like better known, like, oh, I know Genji.
Yeah.
Like Genji's cool. He's $750.
Yeah, but yeah, I would recommend trying out Coulter. I feel like we tried to play Dota one time, it failed miserably. But this game has, a lot of the mechanics that make Dota 2 a little bit daunting to get into are removed. And for better or for worse, that makes the barrier to entry a lot lower. So,
I mean, I would have... The thing about Dota 2, I did quit immediately. But the thing about that is that we went in and we just started playing, like, with absolutely no
That was a mistake because
explanation.
I may have not realized, because I have played Dota 2, not a fair amount, but I played it somewhat often enough to know what I'm doing in that game, and it's somewhat blocked my memory that that game is impenetrable at the start unless you spend time looking at heroes, unless you understand like the mechanics and watch videos and that kind of thing. But Dota 2, not Dota 2, Heroes of the Storm, simple enough at the start. It has a tutorial to help you learn kind of what it is.
The tutorial doesn't take long. It's
No.
like 10 minutes to do 2 tutorials, and it actually explains like literally everything that you need to know. And then I felt like somewhat confident. Like I knew like the mechanics and I knew what I was supposed to do. Whether or not I can actually do that is the next question really. But I felt like I was doing okay. Like I was actually having fun. I can say that I had fun playing a MOBA, which I did not ever have while playing Dota 2.
So yeah,
And not to say that Dota 2 is bad. It's just that for me personally, there's elements of it where like there's like a build that you have to know for your character that can be a little complicated. There's you get currency throughout the match that you can use to buy items that you have to use for your particular build. And then there's like if you're playing badly or if you're not getting the last hit on enemies, you don't get enough experience to level up and then you fall behind. But with Heroes of the Storm, everything that you do contributes to the overall team level. So basically, if you're just helping out and doing like what you think you're supposed to be doing and like sticking with your team will level up and you'll like everyone is basically like progressing at the same rate. So as your team gets higher and higher in level, you're all going to be as powerful as each other. And then at that point, it's really up to you just to know like what your skills are for your hero. But you're never going to be at a disadvantage because you personally are not doing well. As long as you feel like you're contributing to the entire team, like it'll help you. So there was just something that, and also like the thing that I like about MOBAs and that like I like watching about MOBAs is the combat, because the combat is so intricate when you get into matches with people where you're like positioning and everything. And I feel like for me, the barrier to that is not knowing how to get to a point where I feel confident fighting people in Dota 2, which I haven't played enough to be fair. But in Heroes of the Storm, I felt like it was pretty easy to be like, okay, my character is a tank. I can soak up a bunch of damage. Like, I feel confident that I'm not super underleveled because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to go in and help my team. And I felt like I was actually doing things. So it removed the anxieties of like, I didn't get the right item at level 7 to like be able to kill this guy with whatever weapon I bought. It was like, okay, I know my abilities. I'm going to go in and I'm going to do it. It was fun.
Cool.
None of that probably makes much sense. but it doesn't relate to me either. But when you play Heroes of the Storm, they make it simple to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And it is fun to play with friends.
Yeah, it was overall a fun time.
Nice.
I liked it.
I can't think of much else. I actually have been playing a fair amount of Zelda as well. I haven't done any more of the Divine Beasts, but I have just been kind of wandering the world and trying to find cool things. One I did.
Have you had fun?
I have. I did find like Eventide Island, which I had heard about before again, so that spoiled the excitement for me when I found it. But it was still a cool thing nonetheless. I feel like that distilled like the experience of Zelda down to like one very small thing, where it's like, here, you're on this island, you lose all your gear, and you have to like scavenge for it and play like a small kind of like survival like game type of thing, and that was fun. I also found like this. Again, I was just exploring. I saw on the map it was like this huge thing that looked like a maze. I was like, oh, that looks weird. Let's go explore. And then it turned out it actually was just a giant maze. And like, again, it was cool. I cheesed it at the end where I just climbed up to the top and just found my way to the entrance. But it was cool nonetheless.
Was it the Lost Woods?
No, it was called.
Oh, I haven't seen this.
Oh, it's just literally a giant labyrinth.
No, I haven't seen it.
It was pretty cool.
I actually had to look it up because I literally went down every single corridor. I was like, okay, I could spend like another hour like trying to figure this out, or I could just look it up. And I did just go down that hallway, but I just didn't.
So basically you can go like, from what I could see, you could go like on the right side of the map or the left side of the map at the start and kind of like go down whichever path. I was like, all right, I'm going to go on the right because the way I can see on this map, the map was kind of hard to read too. I was like, I don't know exactly where I'm going. Like, I can see the shrine that I need to get to, but I don't see where an entrance could be. Yeah. So I was like, okay, the map shows the maze, and like you're looking at it from the top view. So I was like, all right, it looks like I could go here. This like on the top part of this area, it looks like I can get into like where I'm going. I went there. It was a complete dead end. I was like, okay, well, I just spent like 30 minutes like doing this. So now I'm just gonna try to climb the top of this and see what happens. And then I did, and eventually I was right next to like there's like this giant the area in the middle shows like the place you need to get to, but it doesn't show how to get into it. So I just climbed up there and like jumped on each side until I found the entrance and got in there, and that was.
Wait, where on the map is this?
It's by the top lab. Yeah, top right of the map.
Where you make the
armor.
Ancient armor.
Yeah. Oh, I've been there.
If you look around that cliff, you'll see the maze, and you have to jump off of it and fly all the way down, like really far.
I think it's actually called a prison, because it looks kind of like a prison, like shell on the outside.
How have I not seen that?
That's cool. And then after I finished it and did the shrine, it's not you don't actually do the shrine because those are like quests where you just get in there and you get the thing and get out. But
Should we say this part of it because this is kind of a secret?
Sure. Okay, I guess I'll save it. But there's some more exploring to do in this area, and it was actually a frightening experience. Yeah. Getting out of this area.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy for me too.
Don't tell me about it.
It's cool. And then there was a couple other times where I was walking around and I saw like a giant electric dragon fly through a lake. And I was like...
From Spirited Away?
Yeah, I was like, whoa, that's freaky. And so me being
First time that happens, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, me being the person that I am, I was like, I'm going to kill this thing. Yeah. So like I jumped down to like where it was going. I was like, I'm going to jump on its back and ride it and try to kill it. And then I jumped on its back and it shocked me and threw me to the water and I died. And I was like, oh, okay, well.
That's exactly what happened.
I'm like, I'm just not going to fight this now because I don't know what to do against it. So I just let it go. And then I saw it again. And I was like,
have you found the crazy, wait, should I say this?
I don't know.
Be vague and I'll say yes.
Have you found the crazy monster a la Princess Mononoke?
No.
Okay.
Though I will be on the lookout.
It's like the forest god looking thing.
Okay. I have not found it yet.
Okay. You remember the forest god from Princess Mononoke?
Yes.
Yeah. You would know it.
Oh, wait.
I don't remember the forest god.
Actually, there was
It's like that glowing, like, elk thing.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe this isn't the same thing then, but there was a time where I was like looking past like Death Mountain or whatever. Just, if you haven't played Zelda, it's just giant mountain, volcano, and I saw what appeared to be a giant like ghost floating around. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And it was so far away that I couldn't get to it, but I saw it through like the scope. I was like, "This is weird." So
there's a few different things. There's like the shooting stars that land that you can go find. That'll have like it's like a yellow pillar, I think. Or like a whitish, like I forget. It's been a while since I played Zelda, but it's like a pillar of light that goes up in the sky, so you can be like, "Oh, what's that over there? That looks cool." Like, and then most of the time it's a shooting star. I think you can get like those little fragments. But then there was a time where it spawns in certain parts of the map. There's one that I know specifically, kind of in the starting area ish near the mountain that's split in two that has the pass through it. That has like the two shrines at the top. There's an area near there where there's like a giant blue pillar of light that'll spawn sometimes, and there's like a glowing blue like I think he's called like King of the Forest or like something of the forest, and it's this like spirit mount thing that you can actually tame and get as a mount, but you can't keep him at a stable. I think that's how it works.
Oh,
We'll just tell him everything.
I don't know. I won't say anything else besides that, but
Well,
it just spawns somewhat random, and it's this like special mount.
cool.
Yeah.
I
It's
probably
not
won't
like
use
a
that. I've avoided
it's not
the
like a
mounts at this
quest
point.
or like a boss or anything. It's just a random thing you can find to ride.
Yeah, I've just been exploring that game. I do think I'm gonna attempt to do a Divine Beast next time, just so I can kind of like get some. I want to get new armor. I've been using like Zora armor the entire time, and I'm just getting kind of sick of it. I did dye it white, and that looked pretty cool. But
The dying is cool.
yeah,
Dye what?
dye
it.
my Zora armor.
Yeah, D-I...
Have you-
D-Y-E.
D-Y-E.
Yeah.
Have you gotten the Master Sword yet?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it.
What about just like the knight's armor? Do you know about that?
I saw that in like a village near. Maybe it's not the same armor. It was. I don't know what it was called, but it was in the
There's just
village.
armor that looks like a knight's.
Yeah, I was able to like buy that kind of armor from the village that has the tech lab, the first one. Mm-hmm. I didn't buy it because I didn't
Katana.
like it.
Oh, well, it's the strongest, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Not,
See,
not
I'm
the strongest in the game, but
when I'm playing like to Dark Souls or this game, it's not about the armor,
It's
strength.
about
It's about the looks. I want to look like a.
What about the
badass.
Hylian armor? The
I don't know what
Hylian
that
hood?
looks like. I had the hood for a while, but I
hood's
kind of
dope.
like the Zora helmet because it makes him look like a little Zora, and he has like a little hat on. It's pretty cool.
I don't know if I ever got the
Did you
top
get
part of
the
that.
Did you get the samurai or like the ninja stuff? The Sheikah,
yeah, the
whatever,
Sheikah
with
stuff,
with
yeah.
like the mask or
That
whatever.
one I didn't get because I don't know.
And he has
I
like the
saw it.
foot pads with the pants. He
I
looks
have
like a
the
little
pants and the
ninja.
shirt, but
It looks pretty cool.
You guys should see mine because I have the armor, like the knight's armor for the bottom and the middle, and then the top I have the like scarf for the
Oh,
Sheikah,
yeah.
and it looks pretty dope because I did the whole thing gray, and gray actually looks really cool, like with the knight's armor and stuff. So it's pretty fire.
yeah. I liked it, and I like the armor, just dyeing it. It makes it look a little... Because, like, even when you just show, like, oh, it's white, like, it'll change, like, other things about it, too. You can kind of see, like, some, like, different, like, details kind of change a little bit, it looks like. So, that's kind of cool.
So the next thing you're gonna do is go on Amazon, buy a bunch of amiibos, and then tap them
No.
over and over again, so you can get a chance to get the hero's tunic from Wind Waker or
I
Ocarina
don't
of Time
care about
or
that.
Twilight Princess.
Yeah, I honestly don't care about.
Is that just
much
his
of the stuff.
regular green, like, thing?
Yeah, and there's other
I
ones you
don't
can
know.
get too.
I'll pass on that. The other armor in that game looks cooler than his default stuff, so...
That's fair.
But, yeah.
Good shit. Are you still enjoying it?
I am. There are a couple times where I get kind of like I play and kind of like sputter out because I just the area that I happen to go to just doesn't have like that many interesting things, and then I just kind of get like I don't want to like go back and like make a trek somewhere else because it takes a long time to like get to some place where I just like mark it on the map, or like there was one time where I saw a tower and I said, I'm going to go to this tower. And it happened to be a pretty cool one where there was these flying like drones and like looking like spotlights like down the ground. You had to kind of avoid them.
I think
it was
I
like
know
this cool like broken like church citadel looking thing. And that was pretty cool. And then usually my play session starts with me going to some very tall place and I say, okay, I'm going to go here, and I just make a direction. And I'm playing with like the HUD removed, so
Yeah.
it just is, there's nothing there, so it's just like the heart containers, and so I just say, I'm going to go this area, and there's no distractions. I don't have like the shrine thing ringing, like nothing is
I hate
there.
that.
So I just play it with just nothing, and I just wander.
That's how I've been doing it too.
And that makes
Turned
it
off
like,
everything.
yeah, I do kind of wish I could just have the mini map or something, but it's just because I have to constantly press like the map to see like if I can go or where I'm going, but it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. It's the best way to play the game. IMO.
I never really turned off any of the HUD stuff. I was okay with it.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. I just didn't like.
It's
I
like
don't
how
know.
immersive it is.
Yeah, just like how clean it looks. There's just nothing. It's just the hearts and that's it. There's no other things. You can see the whole like view of the game and it looks nice. The HUD just looks a little like cluttered to me at the start. And
Have you been playing mostly handheld or docked?
That's a great question.
So recently I've been playing it handheld because I've been kind of playing it before I go to sleep. But for the majority of the time I played, it's been docked, and I've been playing it with a pro controller.
Okay.
So
It's been the opposite for me.
Dare I say wrong?
Maybe. I don't have a Pro Controller.
I feel like the game looks substantially worse on the handheld, so I like playing it on the big screen.
I was actually going to say that I think it looks better.
That can't be true.
I disagree, but
I just like
there
how
was the problem.
There's something about like how close I am to it and like the crispness of the screen that makes it look a little better to me. It looks a little blown out on the TV.
I think it looks fine. Also, like when it's running on the tablet, like the draw distance is like even like less, especially for enemies. Like there are a couple of times where like I'm walking and like I turn around and I can just see the enemies pop in, like, or as I'm walking I can see like this, like the enemies appearing in front of me, and like that takes me out of the experience very quickly when that stuff is just popping in and out. So I didn't like that very much, but I will deal with it if I play it in handheld.
They might have updated it, but for a while there was a thing where if you put it on docked, it would have like frame rate drops and stuff.
There are still frame rate issues in that game for sure, even after the update. Is it
only like docked or is it both?
I never had issues on the handheld.
I can't recall on the handheld, but then again, I have only played it a few times. But certainly docked, I've in Kakariko Village or whatever. Like the second I got in there, the frame rate just started chugging. I was like, well, that's not good. And like it fixes itself eventually, but there are areas where like you can like it's repeatable, where I can just look in this area and the frame rate drops. Or like in like a forest, there's a lot of like shadows and like moving bushes and trees, and like the frame rate can't handle it, which is like frustrating. Or when like you're fighting enemies and you like explode, like you shoot a bomb arrow, frame rate drops. Like that kind of stuff is pretty annoying. I deal with it because I don't have a choice, but it is kind of annoying to see that.
Yeah.
2 more questions.
Splatoon
2.
Have not. Is that the question? Splatoon 2 question mark?
Yes.
Haven't played Splatoon 2 lately. I've again, most of the time is because I've just been playing other things. Playing Final Fantasy a lot, so that has taken up a lot of time that I spent usually playing Splatoon.
That's right.
And when I do play my Switch, it's already on Zelda, and I kind of just play that. But yeah.
Last question. Mario Rabbids.
Day one purchase.
You're actually gonna get that?
Yes.
I'm probably gonna get it too.
Little Caesar's Pizza.
Little Caesar's
Day one
hot and
purchase.
ready pepperoni pizza.
I'm solely interested in that game because A, it's an XCOM clone, and B, it's Mario and Rabbids, which is just the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen.
And he has a gun.
He has a fucking gun, which is just absurd. The whole concept of that game is just bizarre,
It's wild. I've actually heard good things about it.
Yeah. I mean, I said that before. You guys made fun of me. You seemed like you're haters on it. It's very...
Look, I still am
talk.
of the mindset that I almost don't want to buy it based on principle because I hate the Rabbids, but the gameplay looks cool.
I feel like
so.
you haven't seen enough of the Rabbids to hate them.
I played Rayman Raving Rabbids on the Wii a hell of a lot. I had my fill of that. I still think they're almost worse than the Minions.
I mean,
I would agree.
They beat Minions. Minions just copy them. Minions are posers, and Rabbids are number one.
But it's like...
Rabbids are even uglier than Minions.
It's just so hard to look at them. They look so dumb.
Yeah,
It looks like they made them be... No, I'm not going to say that.
And
Like,
in this game,
like
you
have
kill
like
them.
special issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not... Look, they look like they have like... They look like they're not dumb and goofy. They look like they literally have mental problems.
I mean, they're animals.
But they have like they're like drooling and shit. Like they have like plungers on their heads.
Yeah, they're goofy
like
and silly.
it's so dumb.
And also,
like
you get to kill them
it's
in
the
Mario
most
v. Rabbids.
it's the most childish like mascot character I've ever seen.
I don't know if they're childish.
They're
They are
so,
mischievous. They do eat things. And
They
like,
literally
are
run
mean.
around with like toilet paper stuck to their feet. Like it's so stupid, dude.
I
It's so
didn't
bad.
remember these things that you're saying. Do they really have toilet plungers and
100%
toilet paper?
100%. They literally like.
Why do they have toilet memorabilia?
I don't know, dude. There's literally like there's a
culture.
mini game. There's a mini game in Rayman Raving Rabbids where you're shooting like a light. It's like a light gun shooter where you're shooting plungers at them, and they're running around with like the plunger stuck on their head. They're like, whoa.
Okay, well, that's because you're
And it's-
shooting them with a
no,
plunger.
but then they also have games where they're running around where they have it already stuck to their head, and it's
yeah,
like
because you shot
covering
them already. It's continuation.
No, it's so stupid, dude. Look,
Listen, I'm not saying they're not dumb. They are very dumb things, but like also you get to kill them in Mario plus Rabbids, so A+.
but there's also things that like people are making out to be positive about it, where it's like you get to see a rabbit in a Princess Peach dress, and it's like this is so
like, who
stupid. Like I don't
asked for
want
that?
to see that. Like
Listen, nobody asked for this, and for that reason, I'm in on it because it's just, the whole concept is just like how. Like, I'm just amazed that Nintendo let Ubisoft be like, yeah, just go ahead and do this with Rabbids.
fuck me up,
fuck
fam.
Mario up, fam. Just go. Just
wait,
take
is it
Mario and fuck
Ubisoft
him up.
developed?
Yes.
That's insane.
It's so weird.
It's fucking bizarre, and that's the only reason I'm interested is because I just can't believe that this is a real thing. That
I won't
happened.
lie, the gameplay looks good.
I mean, it's tactical
It
XCOM
looks
gameplay.
solid, and like for that reason,
Tactical
for that
Rabbids.
reason I'm in.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be happy about it.
No, it's gonna be goofy as fuck, and it's probably the Rabbids are probably gonna piss me off by the end. But for now, I'm in on them.
It's just
I'll tell you right now, I'm not buying this game unless it turns out to be incredible.
Be prepared.
I don't know, dude.
It's coming.
Rabbids
are coming.
Like some guy on Reddit got it early, and he was doing like a Q&A or something, and then he was saying that like
AMA.
he was saying that AMA whatever. He was saying that like it felt like the next big AAA title on the Switch, which is not saying much, but it's
Alright.
like he said like he can't see like he can see the game getting very popular. He said he thinks people will really like it. So
That's
I don't know.
crazy.
It's just some random guy, but reviews drop Monday,
Does that game come out?
Tuesday. It comes out on Tuesday.
Oh shit! I get that. I'm pre-ordering.
Trying to cop, dude.
But yeah,
Goddamn.
yeah, and so that's basically all
So
I've been
dumb.
playing. Honestly, Sonic Mania came out. I've been tempted to play that game because I heard it was actually pretty good, and Sonic is a cool dude.
Do you guys like the gameplay of Sonic?
No.
Yeah.
Especially not the 2D.
Really,
It's
I played
so
the ones on
bad.
the Game Boy. Those were pretty fun.
I don't like them.
Alright. I mean, Sonic Adventure 2, widely regarded as a bad game. Thought it was pretty awesome. Had like a cool Chow Garden thing where you could
Oh, I played that one.
listen to me, guys. It's really fun. You could raise these little minion Chow things. And they
Minions.
Yeah, they were kind of like these little Pokemon guys. You could feed them things, and they would like turn into
Tamagotchi.
things like Digimon Evolve. Yeah, they were basically Tamagotchi. It was a little side story thing in Sonic Adventure 2, greatest Sonic game of all time. Don't at me.
No, the
it's
best
great.
Sonic game
Adventure
is Sonic Heroes.
Yeah.
Sonic Heroes.
But yeah, so yeah. Other than that, nothing.
Thanks.
I'm done.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. Well, I already talked a little bit to these boys earlier about it, but I'll do a little recap for y'all. I've been playing some Rocket League.
What's that?
Is that like Lucio Ball?
Yes, except an actual game.
Except good.
Don't
at
So
me.
yeah, this is one of my favorite games.
Don't
if you
at
guys are uninitiated, it's a car soccer game. Way
more
cooler than it sounds.
explanation needed.
Way cooler than it
So
sounds.
easy to explain though, because that's really all you need to
Yeah.
say. Almost all you need
Which
to
is
say.
why it's the esport that will take over. Just kidding.
The world.
For now. Yeah, so today I got really close to platinum and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is possible. I could be an MLG. Could be the new Fireburner.
Laser Blade 76.
Let's get it. Yeah, so
we have a new contender coming up here, Laserblade 76. We do think this is a randomly generated. We can't be sure.
I believe he just picked this name before going up. Yeah, so I was on a hot streak, and then I stopped playing for whatever reason to take a break, and then when I came back, I lost like 3 games in a row, and I was like, wow,
Yeah.
that's number one rule, I guess, is you just keep playing until you lose,
That-
because you're warm.
A lot of the times when
you're heated.
I'm like, if I was playing like Tekken or Street Fighter or something, and I won like a few games in a row, I'd be like, I'm done for the day. Like, I just stopped for the entire day because I was like, I can't go back and play after I had that streak, because if I start losing, all my progress is gone. But if I start the next day, then it just is a completely new day. I'm starting from scratch.
Yeah.
And that's it. But
It
definitely
feels really good to like win a couple games, and then you're like, yep, that was a good session.
I made progress. Done. That's it.
Yeah.
Put it away.
Yeah. So hopefully I can get to platinum pretty soon. That would be exciting. And then I play a little bit of Overwatch just cause, we've played Overwatch for many sessions, but
kind of been getting back into it lately, especially on PC. I feel like we hit a slow point in the last few months, months maybe.
But yeah, definitely getting back into Overwatch. I played a couple just placement games because I haven't done like competitive in a really long time. And competitive is really fun. I definitely like to do some more competitive with the boys, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm not as excited for that as both of you guys.
Do you
seem
just
to be.
like feel so much sorrow when you lose? Is that what it is?
It's depressing when you lose. It's demoralizing, and honestly, when we play competitive, it's not that it takes the fun away, because I enjoy competitive, but I feel as if playing Overwatch, it takes a lot of the fun out of the game in competitive, because it turns it into just so serious, and like I don't know. It puts a pressure on the game that I don't think is there in quick play, and it kind of makes it more stressful and not as just lighthearted as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we play. A lot of people like don't do this. A lot of people only play competitive, but we play almost exclusively quick play for some reason.
Well, honestly, the competitive scene, like the last couple seasons, has been lower, like in turnout, and people there have been issues in competitive for like even in the pros of just like the game is just stagnating in competitive, which is why some things are changing coming up. But I feel majority of people only play quick play.
Yeah.
But then I always run into the things where, like, recently I've been playing on PC, like, probably more often than not in terms of what I've been playing on the computer to get those loot boxes, to get the skins. But, like, there'll be matches where it's just so stupid that when I'm playing where we don't have a healer or something. And then, of course, everyone is always like, oh, we don't have a healer, I'll pick a Hanzo. But, like, that literally happens. Like, people are so stupid on my team half the time that it's so frustrating to play. But then I'll say something like I'll have played Mercy or Lucio for like 5 straight matches or whatever, and then like I want to play Genji or like an attack character, and of course the one time I want to do that we don't have a healer, so I'm like, hey, can we get like I don't spam we need a healer, like I'll do that sometimes, but I'll say like when I'm playing by myself or I've been playing with Colin a little bit, I'll be like, can we get like a Mercy or like a Zen or an Ana, and then they'll be like, QP bro. And it's like as if that's a reason. It's like, oh, we're playing quick play, we don't need to like try. It's like, well, that's stupid. Like, I mean,
that's fair though.
It's just so frustrating when someone is like playing. You see a group of 3 people and they're playing like Widowmaker, like Hanzo and like Torbjorn or something stupid on attack, and then you're like, can we get like a Zarya or like a Reinhardt? Then they're like, LOL QP. It's like, thanks. Like, that's not a reason to not contribute.
Yeah.
Like, that's what makes me angry. It's almost as if they're playing QP because they just want to like meditate or something. I don't know. They like don't want to have like a competitive experience in it.
Yeah.
Which I get.
That's almost as if it's not competitive mode.
No, I get it, but it's like, I don't know. I agree with what you were saying. Like, it's there's something lighthearted about quick play that I enjoy more than, because when we used to play competitive, I won't lie, we used to get angry, like at the game. Like I would get actually angry at the game and I would stop playing. Like,
there are bad vibes in competitive because it actually means something, and like makes the game not fun after you start losing.
Yeah, it's not like I would rage quit, but like after we would finish a match and we would all just get offline, or like we'd all be like, I'm not playing Overwatch anymore, and like it would just get angry. And we've never done that with quick play.
Yeah, I just have found like the climb is just not worth it. Like there's no like the rewards for competitive are not good. Like
they're definitely not. That's
like there needs to be more tiers. Like at this point, the only thing you get is if you're in like the top 500, which is impossible for most people. Like for all but 500 people out of like the 10 million people playing Overwatch, you're never going to see a reward for playing competitive. And like that's not right. I don't think that's not good to.
Except for competitive points, which you need 1 million of.
But also, since the game has come out in 1 year, they've added nothing besides gold weapons to buy. They haven't added anything. Like, come on, guys. Like, there's no incentive to play competitive anymore. Except for, I guess, climbing the ranks, which it's fun. Like, I like seeing that number go up, but I just don't like. it comes with a lot of anxiety and depression when you just lose and you see your rank drop just dramatically after just shit, because you're playing against people who want to play that game.
And then you feel like if you get off to a bad start in the season, or if you get ranked poorly, that you're consistently fighting an uphill battle, and it's not. It's like you could be doing well and you would still feel bad that like you're in a lower tier. Like there's something like overall that's not very satisfying about playing competitive.
I honestly wouldn't care because they've changed the rating so much that I imagine if I play my placement matches next season or never, I'm going to be much lower than what I have been placed before on like PS4, which was somewhat high at one point.
We got placed like above 2,500 multiple times.
And now like it'll probably put me back into like I'll probably be in like silver or bronze or something, and I'll be like, okay, like I feel like I should be better than this. I'm probably not that much better on PC, but it's gonna
I think that they were trying to fix that, because he said that they were trying to like place you higher than they were before, or at least closer to your actual like skill level.
But yeah, I'll still do it. I'll still play competitive. It's just
I'm down to play.
I'm worried that it will bring back the same feelings I've had in competitive before.
Yeah, I definitely think that I value it a little, or I think it's more fun than you guys do, because in quick play, there have definitely been times where you guys are like completely like still having fun and stuff, and I'm just like, all right, like I'm kind of burnt out on this by now. And I think competitive infuses a little more like I get a little more excited about competitive sometimes.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's always something very specific to do in competitive, and sometimes you can get into a mindset of either, okay, we're easily going to win, or we're just going to lose, and it's like, all right, throw the game.
Yeah.
So
I will say some of the best matches of Overwatch we've ever had were in competitive. There's been some moments where like, you go for like a ridiculous amount of time on like Temple of Anubis or something, and it's like the most intense like combat that you've had in the game in general. But then there's also those matches where like from the very beginning you're just getting trashed, and you're like, okay, well, we're gonna spend 15 minutes and we're gonna lose competitive points and get nothing for this. Like that's when it gets frustrating.
I mean, to me, it's the same as in quick play. Like, when we get fucked in quick play, it's, like, just as painful to me.
I mean, that annoys me, and I do get frustrated
annoying, but I don't get angry because I'm not losing anything. But when in competitive, you literally lose, like, ranking, status.
Like, if we have a shitty match in quick play, I will be upset during that match. When the match is over, my feelings are back at neutral. I don't care at that point.
Yeah.
Whereas if that happens in competitive, that number drops in front of your eyes, and I go, well, that fucking sucks. Like, I'm now in a worse position than I was before, and now I have to play one match to break even.
Yeah.
But again, there is enjoyment when you do climb the ranks, which I enjoy, but there are the other side of that coin is not as fun.
I think I might not put as much stock into the competitive ranking as like the moment to moment game.
Oh, but that literally like that's your worth as a person.
I know that's what you guys are.
That's arguing. I know. I figured I'd call that out. Yeah, no, it just makes me a little sad.
I did just talk about how I was like, I'm almost at platinum, then my worth as a person will increase.
Yeah,
but that's
and then I'll be MLG Fireburner. Yeah.
All right. I guess we should probably move on. That's pretty much all I've been playing.
Before we pick a movie, quick side note. This is completely random. I meant to talk about this earlier. Coulter and I don't want to say I've been having a debate, but have definitely been.
This is gonna take forever.
No, we've been discussing the use of parking brakes. Very brief. Well, let's keep this like just a few minutes. Basically, I think it was just we were pulling into a spot one day. I don't remember where it was, but I didn't use my parking brake, and Coulter was like, I noticed that you never used your parking brake. and it's true, I never use my parking brake unless I'm on like a steep incline or like a crazy hill. Mm-hmm. But Coulter says that he uses it all the time, no matter what, 100% of the time. And I found that to be odd. And Coulter found it to be odd that I never used my parking brake. So I believe you started a Twitter poll, and I went around today asking all my coworkers, not all my coworkers, but a vast majority of my coworkers, whether or not they use their parking brake. And a lot of them...
The results are in.
So the results are in. I didn't take an official tally, like mark it on my phone or anything, but I can say that a lot of people, when I asked, like, hey, because I just went up, I was like, do you use your parking brake? And they were like, yeah. Like, obviously. It's like, and I was like, 100% of the time, they're like, oh yeah, every time. as if it was like nothing.
Thank
you. I was like, all right. But then there's also like, not as many people, but it's still like a decent number of people who were like, on hills.
Yeah.
And like, okay, yeah, like that's what I do. And then like, and then I would explain why I was asking them. And then there's some people who are like, no, like barely, like 30% of the time maybe. I was like, well, when do you do it? And they're like, oh, maybe like if I'm in like at the mall, like they're like if I'm like it's a weird sloped spot in the like mall or like a weird like parking spot at like wherever I am, then maybe. Or they'll be like if I'm in like downtown Seattle, yeah, or something like that, like a specific example. But not many people. There was like maybe 2 people that I talked to who said they never use it.
Yeah.
Like ever. But most people said they always use it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
to be honest,
it's one of those things where if you get in the habit of doing it, there's absolutely no reason not to.
Right.
And there's, to me, no downside of just doing it every single time. And the counter argument, I guess, would be, okay, I just saw the video go out, and I don't have another battery, so sorry, video watchers.
Fuck.
We're almost done.
We're almost
okay.
done.
Yeah, we're almost done.
What was I saying? So the counter argument would be, it's a little tiny bit of work to pull on the parking brake. And to that, I have nothing to say because you're a lazy ass.
No, it's not that. I don't even know why I don't do it. It's not that it's that much work. I never think to do it outside of... I'll be honest, when I took Swerve, I thought it was one of those things that they were telling you to do because they're squares. And they're just like, remember to put on your parking brake, do mirror over the shoulder, remember to fucking, like, buy your mom a Mother's Day card or whatever, like, just dumb stuff where it's like they're just giving you useless information. And so I always thought, like, okay, I'm just, like, during Swerve, of course, I would always do the parking brake because otherwise they would dock you points or whatever, and your worth as a person would go down. But I never, like, once did it outside of Swerve. Unless I was on a hill.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's interesting. I had my results. There's still 10 hours left of the poll on my thing.
I haven't voted in it. I'm not going to.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you can. You're part of the public.
Yeah, I guess I
want to
can.
get as many votes as possible.
Yeah, I guess I can.
So far, I have 10 votes.
Really?
60% say always.
Really? What are the options? I didn't see. I saw you tweet it out, but I didn't see
So I
the
put
options.
always, sometimes, rarely, and never, which I think is pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
What else could there be?
I don't know. I was going to say, like, on hills.
Yeah, I was thinking of putting an on hills thing, but just... I mean, you can just say sometimes.
Because honestly, whenever someone said something other than all the time, it was like, I would say like 95% were, on hills. Mm-hmm. So I guess that could fall into rarely, I guess. I don't know how often people are parking on hills, but...
Either one, sometimes or rarely, is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, so 60% was what?
60% was always.
What are the other...
I'm going to say it. Dane, please prompt me to say the next thing.
Next?
What should I say next, Dane?
What's the next one?
Talk about how I endorse torture.
Yeah, all right.
Because I love that.
Gladly. 10% said sometimes, 0% said rarely, and 30% said never.
I'm one of that. One person of that.
You
is
were
me.
one of those?
Yeah.
Do you care to divulge which one?
Never.
Okay.
But I'm in a particular situation here where you guys both drive regular cars, which have the parking brake as a handle that you pull up and down, whereas I'm driving a truck, and the one that I'm most
the parking brake is a Rube Goldberg machine.
No, the parking brake on trucks is like a lever on the bottom, like left side usually, that you like pull, and then when you're done, you have to like crank it out. There's no handle to pull it, so it's way more annoying to like pull it and then reach down under there and try and like get it to be undone. It's just pointless.
So yeah, in my Camry, it was a pull thing, which there's that satisfying kind of like I get it. Like you get in, you're like
yeah,
what
people
is
feel
it?
like they're
you
racing.
pull,
So
you pull it up to engage it, right?
Yeah.
And then when you're done, you click and
push down.
down. So mine now is just a little like it's electronic, so it's like a little like I think it's a little like weird ass switch. So like you put your foot on the brake and then you like push down or you pull up the switch, and then when you're ready to go, like when you get in the car, you just like click it. So I should do it because it doesn't involve a lot of stuff, but it doesn't feel good to do it. Like it doesn't have that like that like
doesn't
that
feel
click,
good to be
like
safe.
That tactile thing, like it doesn't have that. So I don't know.
All right.
But I should do it to be safe.
Yeah.
I won't. Whose turn is like the whole movie?
Who picked The Shining? Do we know?
Fuck me, dude.
You picked the last one, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. I picked Interview with the Vampire. Dane must have picked The Shining.
Yeah, he must have picked The Shining then, so it's Jordan.
Yay! Alright.
Every week,
We pull
a random movie out of a bag. It could be anything. It could be good. It could be bad. It could be critically acclaimed. It could be a Disney Channel original movie.
Critically acclaimed, nonetheless.
It could be Halloween Town 2, Calabar's Revenge. It could be a Serbian film. It could be
Citizen Kane.
It could be Citizen Kane.
Could be Leon the Professional, the oldest movie known to man.
Yeah,
first
you
film.
too can join in on the fun by heading to itsnotsosubtle.com and finding our movie list. You can also find it in our pinned tweets on the Twitters. You can also find it on our subreddit, which we haven't made yet, but I'll be making that tomorrow.
I have it.
Okay, that was
It's a
fast.
film. Wow, you didn't do nearly enough work.
Yeah, there was no
films.
fanfare. Fuck you, Jordan. You're not in on this.
Just open
Are you
it.
guys ready?
God damn it. What is it going to be?
Ooh, Face Off. This is
Oh.
a highly regarded, I think, action movie. So this might be a
It's
fun
Nicolas Cage.
one. Old Nick's in this one. This ought to be an
Old Saint
exciting
Nick.
one. So
Face Off. I don't know if I know which one this is.
There's a funny bit. Shout out to Dynamic Banter podcast. There's a funny bit where Steve Zaragoza brings up like an old review for it, and the guy like talks about like all the different action things that happen. He's like explosions, gunfights, crazy stuff, boat smash ups, and that's like one of the things that he says. And it's like, wait, what did he just say?
Dude,
Boat
it's John
smash-ups?
Travolta and Nicolas Cage.
yeah, I think this will be a fun one.
So here we go.
Could be good.
In order to foil an extortion plot, an FBI agent undergoes a facial transplant surgery and assumes the identity and physical appearance of a terrorist. But the plan turns from bad to worse when the same terrorist impersonates the FBI agent.
Whoa, that's actually a good setup
That
there.
sounds somewhat interesting.
I didn't listen. So
All right.
we're gonna be watching that film next week, I think.
Hold your horses. May have some complications next week, but
Guys,
we'll let
Houston,
you guys
we have
know.
a problem.
I'll let you guys know.
All right.
So be prepared.
We almost didn't have one this week, but you guys got lucky. All right. Also, PAX is in between. Is this the last one before PAX?
Yeah, PAX is next weekend, right?
PAX is next Friday. Yeah.
A week from today.
All right. We'll probably have some cool stuff for that. So
Please
stay tuned.
Guys, pray to Guy Fieri that we have some new content coming out, because that would be
Can we
dope.
just say right now that whether we release it or not, we're going to attempt to do something that we wanted to do for a while?
We're probably gonna record some hot footage, so
Yeah.
be prepared.
We'll have some. If we don't have like a full like edited cool ass video, we'll put out something.
Yeah, yeah.
So you guys will see that.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited. And then I think, I don't want to promise anything. Would it be cool to do like a PAX
Like a podcast there.
podcast, like a mini one or something, talking about like the events of PAX or something?
Yeah.
Sure.
It would be cool.
We'll have the hotel.
Should
that
we
can do
bring
it.
all of our like laptops and mics and everything in addition to whatever else we're
I think
bringing?
we should on
Probably would be.
Sunday.
I mean, we're in a hotel, so we'll have to bring it before then. We'll have to bring it on
Oh,
the first
that's
day.
true. That's true.
Anyways, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay. If you guys want to find us on social media, you can find us at It's Not So Subtle on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can find us at that handle on Twitch also. You can like see us streaming games late at night, usually. And if you want to send us an email, you can contact us at It's Not So Subtle on gmail.com. It's a new way to access gmail.com. Anything else? Did I forget something?
I think you got them.
I think I got pretty much everything.
Facebook.com/It's Not So Subtle.
Yeah. All you boys from Facebook, what up, pimps? That's an H3 shout out.
What up, pimps?
All right, Jordan, where can we find you?
You can
Bust it
find
out.
me, Jordan Miller, at the Killamilla on
Let's get
Twitter,
it.
Twitch, Instagram,
Let's go.
and
Let's go.
that's also my moniker on most video
Let's
game
go.
sites and services.
Let's go.
If you want to follow me on Tumblr at Tenzo-Taicho, you can, and see a lot of my anime likes, dislikes, and posts,
Okay.
and GIFs, or GIFs, if you're a
Let's go, dude.
GIFs if you're educated.
Let's go. Jordan, let's go.
GIFs if you're a linguist. GIFs if you're the creator of the file
GIFs if
format.
you don't understand English.
Dane, where can we find you? Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. You can find me at Lane to Point on Twitter.
Okay.
Instagram,
Let's go.
Twitch.
Let's go.
Yes.
Pornhub, of course.
Let's
You can
go.
find me on
Pornhub.
Pornhub. You can also find me on Tumblr, where I actually have a blog where I talk extensively about how I endorse torture. Yeah. That's about it.
All right.
You're a fan of Kim Jong-un.
Big fan.
Big fan. No one is a big fan of him.
I'm gonna take that
Except his
back right
mom.
now. I'm not a big fan of any dictators,
Yeah.
except for maybe Mussolini was kind of cool.
Mussolini. Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you guys for watching and goodbye. Let's
Guys,
go.
Let's go.
See you maybe next week.
See you at PAX.